Wait, no. Okay, now guys, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? What happened to my TikTok?
We're still here. We're still here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jumping.
Can anybody hear me now?
Just a
Let me
minute.
see. What does it say? No, it sounds no sound because it cannot speak. I can hear you. Yes, you hear you.
Wait.
Woohoo!
We're still here.
There
we go. Got you, bro.
Can
We got you. All right.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
James, let me share this hadith with you, bro. Imagine Muhammad telling a cancer victim this. And God knows I spent 7 years in that place, man, with these women. Aisha said an Ansari woman was married and she became sick and all her hair fell out. Intending to provide her with false hair, they asked the Prophet, who said, Allah has cursed the lady who artificially lengthens her hair, and also the one who gets her hair lengthened, the one who does the lengthening and the one who gets it lengthened. But Muhammad can put on a woman's dress, dye his hair, put on perfume, put on eyeliner. You know that Shania Twain song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman? Muhammad can make himself look like a woman, but if your hair falls out, going to get radiation, chemotherapy, Allah will curse you for going and putting a wig on. This is how filthy this dog is, bro.
Unbelievable. So now we're going to get back to the topic, guys, so that we have, now that I know that we do have some sound on YouTube, which is brilliant. Let's see if this is going to continue. Good. The topic is, again, as always, a simple topic. Let me just see if I need to share my screen. Am I sharing? Can you guys see the same picture as me, right? On the screen?
Women in Islam?
Yeah, and me and you on the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, guys, now we're going to talk about the treatment of women in Islam. Now, we're not saying how women are treated. We're not going to go there. We're not going to talk about it. All we're going to do is find out from Muslims what Muslims want us to believe. Because again, Muslims will blame us for, hijacking the conversation. And so let's listen, Travis, let's listen to them. Okay. And let's see where they take us, because that's going to be the most interesting part of it. They're going to be able to tell us whether it's what we're saying is true or false. Let's see where they take us. We have with us today a guy called Dada Ways, who absolutely loves me, but it's okay. We love him right back.
Mr. Okay, James, Dada. Are you guys really serious about what you guys doing?
Dude, welcome to the stage. The topic is treatment of women in Islam. Would you like to contribute and tell us how are women seen in Islam and how are they treated in Islam?
In my own point of view, I think Islam is the only religion that treats women fairly.
Beautiful. Can you give me an example?
Yeah, I can give you various examples, like telling the women how to behave in public and telling the women how to dress in public.
Okay, so that's how you treat them, by telling them what to do?
No, not like forcing them what to do, but like letting them know that this is the perfect way.
Okay, so you said not by forcing them, right? So can a woman, a Muslim woman, wear a jeans and a t-shirt and walk around the city?
If this woman is not gonna be a threat to like womanizers, like men,
hang on a second, hang on. You. So who's a womanizer? What is a womanizer?
A man just like you.
A man.
Yeah, you guys can fall in love for anything.
Oh, do we?
Guys, you can go for anything, you know. So
are you making me sound like Muhammad?
No, I'm making you sound like yourself.
No, but Muhammad, he was the one that had all these women because he couldn't control himself, correct?
If I am trying to copy
Yes
the
or no? It's a
lifestyle of-
simple question.
No, but
Could Muhammad hold himself back, or did he have
Which-
to dip it into every
which is-
woman that walked by? Did Muhammad have self-control, Dada? Or
because
was he a
teaches-
womanizer?
like he teaches how to have good characters, you know.
Yeah, that's not, we're talking about character. We're talking about the woman. So you said that by telling
Yeah,
a
it's-
woman how to dress and how to behave, that's a good thing, right? So I'm asking you, if a woman wore
Yeah, of course
jeans
it
and a
is.
t-shirt, and let's just say shoes, trainers or something, and she walked the streets, is she underdressed or overdressed? If she doesn't
It
cover her
just,
head and cover her eyes, is she okay to walk outside?
yeah, like I said, if she is not like provocative to womanizers like men's like you, then it's okay.
Okay, why would you call me a womanizer? Because you think I'm Muhammad, correct?
Yeah, because you don't care. You are a lawless person. You want to live lawless in this world until the day
Okay,
you
so
die.
hang on. Am I allowed 4 wives and as many right hand possess as I desire? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
You're allowed,
so you
yes.
think I'm Muslim then?
No, I don't think that you are a Muslim, but I see that you can do that without getting
Okay,
married
when you
to
say
them.
you can
So,
see
which
that,
means
tell me what example, where did you get this example from, or this idea that I have all these right hand possess and I have all these women? Where do you find this?
yeah, because you are a lawless person, you know.
Okay,
You are
so when you
showing
say I'm a
us that-
lawless person, right? Do you have any proof that I'm a lawless person, or are you just talking out your behind?
yeah, of course. The way you talk
The way I speak.
lawlessly, you know.
Okay,
You don't
so hang on a
behave-
second.
Yeah.
So the way I speak, now watch this. If I said to you that I'm going to go to the town near me and I'm going to take over this town and I'm going to take all these women as my sex slaves and I'm going to take all these men, unalive them. I will have all these right hand possessed and I will sleep with all of them in one night. Am I a disgusting, filthy individual?
I would have bring you down myself.
Okay, so if in history we are taught about one man that married 9 to 11 women, had all these right hand possessed, he should sleep with all these women in one night. Is he a disgusting, filthy man, or is he like me?
Remember, your bitch and your wife is a two different things. You
Okay,
hear me?
so hang on, was Aisha, which one was Aisha?
And which one of them are you talking about? There is a whole lot of
You
answers
said
to
you said that there's a difference between, and you said the B word, and you said your wife. Which one was
Exactly.
Aisha?
I am telling you, which Isa? You just said Isa.
Muhammad's
Which
wife.
Isa?
Muhammad's wife. Which one was she?
Okay, we are talking about the Holy Prophet's wife.
And just notice, guys, exactly, this is now the
Okay.
topic on treatment of women. And this guy starts off by calling woman a bitch.
Yeah,
But go on.
because
Let's
I
continue.
know it from.
So now we know
I
the
know
right
it from-
hand possessed, according to Muslims like Dadaway, calls those that you sleep with, that you take from war and you have them as a captive, he calls them the big B word, bitch. That's
I
Dada.
know that word. I know that from. I know that word from you guys.
Okay.
learned that
Have
word
I
from
ever
you
called
guys.
you that word, Dada? Have I
I
ever
learned
called you
it
that
from
word?
you guys.
Have you
I
ever
learned it
heard
from
me
you
say the
guys.
word, Dada?
From you guys, I learned.
Have you ever heard
It's
me
an
say
English
the word,
word.
Dada?
Remember, it's an English word.
But
right?
let's get back to the topic, Dada. Focus.
Exactly.
According to Muhammad, he had 9 wives and he slept with all of them in one night. You said to me that that's a disgusting person, especially if I did it, correct?
Especially, yes.
Okay, but Muhammad did do it, correct?
That's a bloody lie, man. Where do you get these lies
The
from? you
hadith
know?
tells us that
This is the
Muhammad
reason
slept
why
with
I
all
came
his
up.
wives in one night with one wash.
How can that be? You know? How can
I
just,
don't know.
just-
You guys
just-
make him to be
just-
God. So I'm asking you now. Pay attention, Dada. The hadith tells us that Muhammad slept with all these wives. Is he a disgusting individual like you trying to say I am?
But I debunked that hadith.
Okay, beautiful. By telling me you debunk it, that's right, you debunked it. So let's get back to the point. Now that you call these women the B word, you call them the B word. What makes them the B word?
Good question. Okay, now imagine you as a woman, yeah? you want to live like a lawless person in this world, get any man you
I'm glad Allah silenced you.
you know what I mean?
But hang on a second. Aren't the men told to lower their gaze?
By by exposing your body to them.
Did Allah tell people to lower their gaze?
Your
I'm not
body.
sure whether
Even if
Allah's
I'm
making
a
you. What's
womanizer,
going
sir,
on?
but if I see you cover,
Your internet is daif.
He told them that lower their gaze so they can see their child bride.
Okay, I'm not sure where he's gone to, but notice, guys, he called these women the B word, and it falls into the treatment of women in Islam. And notice that even though he called the woman the B word, who is he talking about?
but am I the
So
only
that's
guy
what I'm asking
calling
you,
them
Dada.
B?
Who are the women that you talk about when you call them the B word?
I just
Who are these
explained to
women?
you. Am I the only guy calling them B word?
I'm not talking to anybody else.
Am I
but
the
you.
only person?
In this live, you are the only one that said it. Yes. So I'm asking
What?
you, what makes them a bitch?
Okay, why would we call them that?
I'm
Tell
asking
me.
you, why did you call
Because you
them
will
that?
never call your wife that word. But why would you call another woman that you just have 5 minutes with or 2 minutes
But that's
with?
you. I'm asking you, why did you call
Yeah,
them
this is
that?
what I'm
Don't ask
talking
me.
about. It's the value. It's the value, you know.
Okay,
It's
so
the
what
value.
value now? So hang on. So the woman that Muhammad took as sex slaves, what are those women? What were those women?
Listen, we respect all women by all means.
I didn't ask
But
you that.
what I'm trying
You're
to
the one that called them the
what-
bitch. I'm asking you, the woman the right hand possessed, what are they called? Are they the B word?
the right hand possess. What do you mean that? Can you
The sex
substantiate that
slaves.
for me?
The sex slaves. Muhammad taught that it's okay, and Allah taught it's okay to have sex slaves.
Sex slaves.
Muhammad had them.
Sex slave.
I'm asking you, what are those women?
Sex. No, that is not good. Who? Who is doing that?
You sound like an owl. Who? Dude, have you read the Quran?
Who is doing that? Did
Have
just
you
say the
read
prophet?
the Quran?
Did you just say the prophet?
Did Muhammad have sex slaves? Yes or no?
What?
What? Ha, who,
Pro-
ha?
the-
I'm not sure if you're
the
fighting
prophet-
yourself,
listen,
you're shadow boxing,
listen.
or what you're doing.
Listen, because you know why? I don't want to go there, with you, because right now
I
you're
want
touching
to
on
go
my
there.
dignity.
I want to go there. I'm asking you, did Muhammad
You
have
have to be
sex slaves?
respectful. You have to be respectful.
Did
when you talk about
Muhammad
my
have
prophet.
sex slaves?
Listen, I'm not going there with you.
I'm there. You
We
can
can
either
just
join me or you
listen.
can drop.
We can talk,
Did
we can talk
Muhammad have
respectfully,
sex
we can
slaves?
talk
Yes or no?
and educate people, but
Did
factually.
Muhammad have sex slaves, Dada? Yes or no?
No.
Beautiful. If I show you a hadith where he has sex slaves, right? If I show you a hadith where it says he had sex slaves, is that also fake, daif?
Okay, show me in the Quran where God said that we can have sex slaves. Show me in the Quran.
What does right hand possess?
Show me in the Quran.
Surah 424.
Yeah, but okay, let's substantiate right hand possess.
Can you tell us first, what does 424 say?
Is right hand possess? Does
What
it mean
does
that
424
that
say?
you can own
Dada?
something rightfully?
Dada, pay attention.
What does
man.
it mean?
Can you
What
read
does it
Surah
mean?
424 and tell me, are you allowed to have sex slaves?
Okay, you said that in Islam we allow sex slaves, right? Because this is what you are trying to say. If you say the Prophet did it, then which means Islam allows it.
Does Islam allow it? Yes or no?
No.
Can you read?
And who told you that?
Can you read Surah 424 for me, please?
Yeah, put it on the screen.
No,
Let me
no.
read it out.
You read it, 424, and tell me what it says.
You know, we can talk and sensitize people, you know, without even opening the book. Why should you be jumping up and down, opening book and talking about you are smart
Ikra,
somebody? You don't even
Ikra,
have wisdom. You
Ikra.
don't even have
Can you
wisdom,
read
you know.
424, please?
You think everything you have to go and learn it.
Oh my gosh.
This is what you think.
Dada, thanks for coming up and showing people why you are a bad example.
You are a fool.
for
No,
Islam,
no, you are a fool.
right?
And trying
So
to
this is
fool
what
people.
it says. This is
Stop
what it
fooling the
says when
people.
you
Stop
read
what
it,
you're
right?
doing.
This is what it says when you actually read the verse. Now, again, guys, remember that Muslims like this, he's not a true Muslim, right? So all you have to do, say this after me. Say bye to the camera. Say bye to the camera. Wave. Let's see what it says. All women, all married women, are forbidden unto you, save those who your right hand possesses. It is a decree of Allah for you. Lawful unto you are those beyond those mentioned. So seek them in marriage with gifts and property, desiring chastity, not unlawful sexual intercourse. So for whoever you enjoy from them, give them their due compensation as an obligation. There's no blame upon you for what you mutually agree to beyond the obligation. Indeed, Allah is the ever-knowing and wise. This also talks about mutta. That's right, prostitution in Islam is allowed. Not sure if you guys know that. It was never ever abrogated. It was allowed. Muhammad allowed them to do it. So, another hadith, I'm not sure if you have it, Travis, where Muhammad has a sex slave.
Oh, Sophia or Maria the Copt?
He has a sex slave. No, it's actually Muhammad had sex slaves that he used to sleep with or something.
Yeah, he also did it in chapter 66 of the Quran when he clapped Maria the Copt in Hafsa's house. There's a whole chapter devoted to Muhammad's sex life right here.
Yep. There's one where it actually says Muhammad had a sex slave. I just need to find that one, but it's okay.
Yeah,
but it's okay. Yeah, I just don't have it with me just right now. But it's okay, guys. But I wanted this to be a perfect example as to why you need to stay away from Islam. I mean, like Dadaways. The dude he says he doesn't need knowledge. He doesn't need to read. He doesn't need to understand, you know. But anyway, let's get back to the treatment of women in Islam. So that's right. You can call me a liar all you want. Let's see. Ati, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
You call me a liar, so I guess I'm a liar.
Yep.
Can you tell me what did I lie about?
Islam gives women their rights.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if a woman inherits her dad's money or her mum's money, she gets to keep it. The man has got no right to have any money. If she gets a piece of land, the man has no right to take any part of that land. She gets a dowry, which it's implemented in the religion, and the man has to pay the dowry if the woman says that she wants it. If the man divorces the woman, he has to give her rights. So all this cultural stuff that you think that Islam is based on, it's not culture. Islam is based on a religion that gives the woman the rights. And this is why in the Western world, more than 80% of the reverts, 80%, yes, 80% of the reverts are women and not men. Men is 20% of the 100 people that are reverting to Islam. Most of them are women. So don't ever tell me that Islam does not give a woman the rights. In the Christianity, if a woman walks out of the house, she must be quiet. If a woman walks out without a scarf over her head, shave her head off. This is in Christianity. That's it. Look.
So hang on. So now that we understand the rights of the woman in Islam, how about the treatment of the woman in Islam?
Well, I'll just explain it to you. If a woman If a man objectifies a woman, the man will be judged the way he objectified the woman.
Hang on. What do you say objectify the woman? Can you explain? What does that mean?
If a man cheats on a woman, or he mistreats her, or he doesn't give her rights, or he doesn't teach her the right way, it doesn't respect her, all those things that are wrong in society these days, that is part of the culture. It's not a religion. All these things that you see.
Let me give you an example. Let's take circumcision, female circumcision.
That's cultural.
Is that Islamic or cultural?
Cultural.
Okay, so in the hadiths where Aisha says that she was circumcised, that she was circumcising little girls.
Give me the proof.
Circumcised. Sure, absolutely, man. Glad you asked for it. Because all we do over here is give proof.
And don't give me some guy that wrote it 600 years later.
Who would you like? Tell me, please. Who would you like?
Can I explain to you about circumcision? Are you willing to listen?
Interesting. Tell me about female circumcision.
I'll tell you about female circumcision. What happens is in the hot weather, the woman's.
Go on.
The hot weather, the woman's private part, right, gets
Nothing.
I don't want to sound rude or obnoxious.
Don't say it, bro. Say it, please. Say it.
You know what I mean?
Say it.
The woman's part gets excited
in the hot weather.
Yes, it does. 100%.
Okay, 100%.
100%. And this is why in Africa, that's why in Africa it's a cultural thing for women to get circumcised.
You mean if I get my girl warm? Oh, sorry. You mean if
no?
I get my girl a good blanket?
Yeah, man. This guys, you've learned something new today. Now I am an African. Hang on, Ati. Hang on a second. I am an African. I lived in Africa, and I lived in a country that's quite warm. Now, I can tell you firsthand that what you said is pure bullshit. I'm not sure how else to put in the flavor of the word, but that's just one way of putting it, right?
Yeah.
That's absolute crap. Basically, you're speaking a lot of rubbish. But stop there. Give me a chance. You had your chance. Now, you blaming the heat and you saying that because of the heat, the women are getting excited, correct?
Correct, 100%.
Okay. And because of the excitement, Allah says, snip and clip, or clip and snip.
Well, that's if you snip and clip, you become transgender. Right?
So hang on a second. So when the women are circumcised because of the heat, because again, guys, global warming is now, and it wasn't back then. But that's okay. We learn something new every day. So because of global warming, Allah was like, mashallah, these poor girls need to be clipped and snipped.
What are you talking? You know what? Now you're becoming a real smart ass about global warming. There's no such thing as global warming. Global warming is a fallacy. It's a lie.
But Islam isn't. But Islam isn't, correct? So let's see what it says. Hang on a second.
Let's see. The truth in the way.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's the truth in the way. Just remember what you just said.
100%.
Because of the heat, the woman had to be circumcised. Now watch this, right?
No. I didn't say all women. I said it was a cultural thing.
Only the African. That's right. Only the African.
It was a cultural thing. It was a cultural thing.
Africa.
In Islam.
It's okay.
Listen, in Islam.
Dude, let's read. Right? Let me see. Just let me put this in there. Let's see. So this is narrated Aisha, right? This is
hang on.
Let's see what it says. The Prophet said, when the circumcised meets the circumcised, then ghusl is required. Correct? Now we're going to show you where, when the circumcised meets the circumcised, then indeed ghusl is required. Myself, Aisha, and Allah's Messenger did that, so we performed ghusl. Right? So now we know that she was circumcised. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Now we're going to show you where her brother, let me see this. A-U-G-H-T-E-R. Let me see that. There we go. So this again is also Hassan, but let me just see. There's also let Let me just see that. There we go. So this says, blah, blah, related that when the daughters of Aisha's brother were circumcised, must be a cultural thing, must have been really warm over there. Aisha asked, shall we call someone to amuse them? In other words, let's entertain them while we destroy them.
No. See. This is what you guys. This is the game you guys play, right? In the Quran, it doesn't.
Hang on, no.
specify.
Focus on this first. Focus on this.
I'm focusing.
Focus on this first. Don't go to the Quran. Let's see what it says.
Some hadiths,
What it
right?
says. No, we don't care about some hadiths. This is Hassan. Just sit quietly, pay attention, because this is saying that we need someone to amuse them, to entertain them while we maim them, destroy them. Yes, she replied. Ali was sent for, and he came to them. Aisha passed by the room and saw him singing and shaking his head in rapture. Why? He was trying to take their minds off the pain from this FSM, if I'm not mistaken, where they destroy the bottom of the female so that she doesn't enjoy the dingy. Why? Because it was hot, because of the heat. Why didn't Allah just turn down the damn heat so these girls could live in peace? So now I'm asking you again, is this a cultural thing? Because Aisha and Muhammad surely did not live in Africa where it's really warm. So is this a Saudi a cultural thing? Is this an Arab thing?
Are you going to let me talk?
Now you can speak. Yeah, ask the question.
These were predominantly done in that side of the world, like for example from Africa, all the hot regions of the world. Some
Leave
women.
my
I'm going to say
Africa
all
alone.
women.
Don't
I'm going to
mention
say
my
all
Africa.
women.
Leave my Africa alone. Stick to these pagans that were walking around.
Listen. Not all Muslim women were circumcised. Some women, were. Some women. The Christians were. If you want to listen. Why don't you go ask?
Stop talking about Africa, stop talking about Christians. We are focused about Arabia, and we are focused about these women that were maimed to the point where they were not allowed to enjoy sex. Why? Because it was hot. Now, please focus on these women, no one else. These women. You muted. Unmute yourself and focus on this topic. These women.
These women, that some women were circumcised to reduce the like when they become sexually active, right? Or they're sexually active before they get married, or they're sexually active if they get to see a man.
Okay, so hang on. Sorry, brother. Watch this. Aisha was married at 6, correct?
No, she wasn't. She was spoken off by 6. She was probably married at 9 or between 9 and 13.
No, she was penetrated at 9, according to the hadiths again.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? In America,
you guys
America,
are such liars. We don't care about America. We don't care about England. We are talking about Aisha. Now here we go.
How old was Rebecca?
How old was Rebecca? Dude,
how old was Rebecca?
Trying to deflect. Stop it. Listen carefully. Hadith, Sahih Bukhari. She was 6 years old and consummated when she was 9. That's right. Run, you lying, filth, absolute coward of a man. Notice how they blame my Africa, man, for everything. So again, if Aisha was married at 6, penetrated at 9, I want to know, why was she circumcised? Was it because she was so sexually active? Because she was so turned on by Muhammad, looking at him thinking, oh, lovely, yummy. Notice, guys, this is the logic of Islam. A 6-year-old gets circumcised because she's highly sexed because of the heat.
So James, let's really teach what Sharia teaches here about circumcision, if that's cool. Muhammad gave the advice to not cut too severely. This was Muhammad's teaching on this. And as you mentioned, Aisha, poor thing, she was just born 2 days ago, 8 pounds, 6 ounces, little tiny girl. She was circumcised. When the two circumcised parts meet, then the washing is obligatory. The messenger of Allah and I did that. This is Aisha here. So this is also Sharia. It teaches that women, it really encourages circumcision for women. So this is from the Shafi school. Circumcision is obligatory for both men and women. And Maliki says the same thing. Female circumcision is praiseworthy. So this is what Sharia teaches, and the, Gambia was voting to try to bring back FGM because Aisha was mutilated. People are trying to bring this back today, guys.
Yeah. So the one that Travis is saying, I'm going to read the entire one. It says this, that there was a woman used to perform circumcision in Medina. The Prophet saw her and said, do not cut severely, as it is better for the woman. Now pay attention. Let me show it to you. Hang on, guys. This is the beauty of this of Islam. So again, it says, now this is Sahih, Sunan Abi Dawud 5271 says this: a woman used to perform circumcision in Medina. The Prophet said to her, do not cut severely, as that is better for the woman. Now pay attention to this, and more desirable for a husband. More desirable for a husband. Again, all about the man. I mean, who wants an ugly looking downstairs? You know, he wants her to look nice and nice because he's, you know, she's coming home to him. So he wants her to look pretty. That's Islam, guys.
Yeah, there's no scientific benefit to this other than Muhammad was suffering from little man syndrome, and he didn't want his wives out running the streets like he did. Right. So it's you hear something dumb every day from these people. If I get my girl warm, she gets excited. This is all I got to do. Get her a heated blanket and it's go time. No work involved. She's just ready to go. Like boing. What? Where are we, dude?
It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And again, all we're saying, guys, is that he said, kept blaming my Africa, man. Oh, how dare you? So he took us to Africa. Then he tried to blame England or somewhere else in America or something. Note, and then he went to Rebecca. Now, the reason for that, guys, is because the deflection is real. The whataboutism is real. They've run everywhere else other than Saudi Arabia. Now imagine saying to your daughter, listen, love, because it's so hot, I'm going to have to snippety clip down there, you know, and because, you know, you might get just too excited. Again, too excited. So what do? We just hurt you. We're just going to maim you, but not too bad. It's not going to be bad enough. It's just going to be enough. Just enough. Now this is Islam. It says don't do it too badly because it might be unpleasant for her. But for the husband, it's going to look, you know, all good. So let's get back. Again, Muslims, same question. The treatment of women in Islam, can you come up and tell us about how fantastic? Don't give us the rights, because we know the rights are all rubbish as well. It says that you can give the woman her inheritance. It's hers. No one's taking it away from her. It's hers. That's fine. But it also says that she's half of a man. That's the treatment. She's half of a man. That's the fact of the matter.
Every example he gave already existed before Islam. The only thing Islam did was show up and give women babysitters. Force them into ninja suits, force them into jail, shut up woman, get in the bed. No, this is what Islam brought.
Exactly. Guys, please, my YouTube, please, guys, there's 150 of you. I would appreciate it more than you'll ever know. If you can go to my YouTube, it's also James 007. The name also is the Agent, I forget what it's called. I'll write it in the chats. It's the Agent, oh, there we go. That's it in the chat, guys. Can I pin it? How do you pin a message? Can someone pin it for me? Do you know, Travis? Comments.
Oh, here or in on YouTube?
No, over here or on YouTube. Please, guys, I'll show the link again, but I really want to do it on both now, just in case USA decides at some point that TikTok needs to take another vacation. We're just trying to make sure that we have what we need. So I'll show it again just for you guys. And I appreciate it because, again, some people are asking me, where can I find the live? Where do I go to watch it again? And we do these lives for many, many hours. So this is it. If you take a screenshot, guys, there's 150 of you, please. That's what it looks like.
Do the @ symbol, guys. Do the one in the bottom. Don't do James 007 because you'll get 100 million James Bond videos. You
Yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
be the agent James Bond _ 007.
Appreciate that, guys. Just again, because then we can go back and watch it, because apparently there's some good content. We are creating some good content because of the things people say. For example, that because of the heat in Africa, because it's warmer, it was warmer back then, man. Global warming, man. And God didn't see that one. He was like, oh man, forgot about that one.
We found out today that women have an internal thermometer excitement level. My man said because it gets warmer, they get excited, so we got to go mutilate them.
Yeah, imagine that. It'll be a travel destination for every horny dude. Let's go to Africa. It's hot down there. So now we know this. I mean, we've learned so much. Yesterday we learned that there's wisdom in sleeping with the 9-year-old. That's what we learned yesterday. Today we learned that because of it wasn't global warming, because of the African heat, that women get excited. So because they get excited, they need to be clipped and snipped. That's Islam, guys. That's what we learned today. So don't tell me we don't teach you guys anything, because I learned there's something new every day. And for Travis's yeah, and we'll be selling them for a good penny. And all the money will go to the Dawa boys to take a trip to Africa. Okay, so let's continue. Are there any other guests that would like to join? Any other Muslims? Muslims request. Any other Muslim wants to come up and continue the conversation? You're more than welcome to. We would love it if you did come up and share the wisdom that you guys have when it comes to the woman, because you guys gave them rights first. Again, we're talking about the treatment, not the rights.
This is such a deep topic, dude. We haven't even hit on it yet. The sleeping with children, the Maliki school saying black women are ugly. We haven't even hit on this.
Yeah, we haven't gone to anything yet. It's just the surface. And for those that are asking, thank you guys for asking about Jax, Jax. She was actually sending me a message not so long ago, and she's still in shock at what she's seen. I don't think that she will ever go back to being a Muslim. And I'm not saying this because I'm forcing her to go anywhere else. I just don't think that Islam is there for her. In fact, I'm going to send her a invite and let's see if she wants to join. Let me just see if I can find her. Because this again is important for the women that go to Islam, and because again, the lies, you guys hear the lies, right? That Islam gave them the rights, Islam gave them this, that, and the other. Unfortunately, it goes against everything that we've just shown.
I'm just trying to write down a couple of things. You can what else can you do? You can force marriages without a girl's consent. That would be this. Forced slave marriage with no consent. Women are turned into hey, there's a Quran verse that's overlooked in chapter 2, verse 230. So if the man has a bad day and the woman makes bad falafel, the husband can divorce his little child bride because she probably couldn't reach the oven, and she's doing a bad job cooking. So the Quran forces her, if she wants to get married to her husband, the guy that she's suffering from Stockholm syndrome with, she's got to go sleep with another man and then she can return to her husband. So the Quran turns the women into whores, essentially.
Exactly. And there she is. I just spoke about her. No worries, Jax. It's okay. So there she is, guys. But again, listen to what Trevor said, guys. This is important. That a woman, after she divorces her man, can't go back to her man. What must she do, Travis?
She has to taste the juice of another man and then be divorced by him, and then she can return home.
Now imagine that. Imagine that. You leave your wife, You have a regret. You look at her and you go, man, I love you. I still love you. I love you. I truly want to come back to you. And she's like, yeah, I love you too. And Allah's like, yeah, step away, move back up, move away. He's like, listen, girl, you needs to go to some dude so that he can penetrate you. And after he's done soiling you, planting his seed, you need now to divorce him, go back to your husband like a used rag. Just wait your 30 days, use the Ida to make sure you don't get pregnant. And then you can marry.
So just so people think we're not making this up, our Bible condemns this in Deuteronomy 24, chapter 2, verse 230. If a husband divorces his wife, it's not lawful for him to remarry her until after she has married another man, and then it's divorced. Then it is permissible for them to reunite.
You're really misleading people.
Wait, hold on just a second.
Hang on, Laser, hang on. Let him read finished. After he's done, you can speak. Hang on, bro.
You know why that happened? Because I didn't seek refuge from the fools and Shaitan's regime before I started reading the Quran. So before you come up here putting your dirty boots all over someone's couch, bro, I got a Muta coupon. If you can sit silent and not interrupt, you can give this to you can even give this to your daughter in the Shafi school. He said you can sleep with your daughter. So the husband,
the same way the Bible says,
hold on,
oh gosh, Lazar, whatever. Just hang on a second, bro. You'll speak. Let Travis finish the verse. Just wait, please, and you'll speak, please.
Yeah, hold on just a second. So the woman is the one that has to suffer the consequence here for making bad falafel and not being able to reach the oven. She's got to go lay with a stranger, marry him, and then later when she's divorced, she can go back to the person that captured her as a little child right out of the cradle.
So let's just see now, Rahim, is that true or not?
This is not true. What he's given is a narrative of his.
Please, can you explain the verse for me, because I'm reading it and it says.
Oh no, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it. Number one, it's very serious in Islam. Number
say
one.
Again, you broke up.
Number one.
You've got 2 red bars on your screen.
Hold on.
What did you say?
Marriage is very serious in Islam.
Okay.
I think we can agree to that.
No, we don't. But
divorce is okay. Well, up until this point, I think we should agree that the Islamic community has a very strong presence of marriage.
Let's just get to the verse, please, because that's history.
Okay. No, we're going to get the translation of the divorce, what he's talking about. All right. I would like to ask that, man, but I'll answer it myself. How it is forbidden for a man to divorce his wife unless he's serious. Plus, he has to pronounce divorce 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah, we know all this. Just let's get to the
first time. If he pronounces,
brother, we understand all that.
So
we understand
he
that.
pronounces divorce. If he okay, you asked him not to interrupt me, not to interrupt him. So I'm asking you not to interrupt me. Okay.
I just muted you for 1 second. You've got a bad connection.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can, but every now and then
it
comes up with 2 bars.
Okay, all right. So if I have a bad connection, then I'll just go. But if he pronounces divorce, this is very serious. This is very serious. But he has a wiggle room. He has time to take her back. He takes her back, and then he pronounces divorce on her a second time. This is very serious. He has another wiggle room to take her back. Then he pronounces divorce on her a third time. And this is where it's like, okay, dude, you cannot keep divorcing this woman. You either take this serious or let her go. The only way you can take her back, she has to marry someone else. Now, you'll find this exact same thing in your Bible. Okay.
Before we do the deflection,
you'll find. Hold on. You asked me not to interrupt.
Oh, easy, Tiger. Before we start running,
interrupt.
Start deflecting and start running.
You asked me not to interrupt.
Slow down, Abdul. Slow down, bro.
Let me finish then.
Slow down. You can't just keep talking. We got to address what you said, Abdul. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Abdul, just hang on a second. We're going to wiggle a bit now, just for a couple of seconds. We're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, you said that the man will give the woman some wiggle room. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. In that wiggle room, is she divorced or is she still the wife?
Are you asking me?
I'm not talking to myself. In that wiggle room,
Okay.
is she married or divorced?
In a marriage, if a man pronounces divorce on his wife, he and she can reconcile, is what it says. They can come back. They can. Sometimes people get angry. They say, I'm done with you, but they don't really mean it. So that wiggle room, what I mean is they have room to reconcile and get back together.
So, but
Okay.
are they divorced or not?
He's pronounced divorce. She's not officially divorced. No, she's not officially divorced. She has a 90-day period. Okay.
So
Called
she's
an
on trial.
iddah.
She's like, yeah, that's the wiggle room.
She's not on trial. She could be pregnant. She could be pregnant. You can't just go marry a man and she could be pregnant. So she has what's called an iddah.
I know.
Would you
what
like
the
to
iddah
marry?
is. Okay, so
Would
she
you
got the
marry a
90
woman?
days.
Would you marry a woman who you just found out was pregnant?
No, sir.
Okay, then. So she has wiggle room. I'm calling it wiggle room, meaning room to verify if this is what you want to do. I'm using English terms. Wiggle room means some room to reconcile.
I got you, and I understand that, and I agree with that. Let's give them time to see if it's going to work or not.
Exactly.
Because again, if she's pregnant, I agree with that.
So
Now,
let me ask you a
after
question.
the
Let me
30
finish.
days-
Let me finish this.
After
Let me
the
finish
30
this.
days, can the husband
Okay.
take her back, or is she free?
It's 90 days.
90 days. After the 90 days, if she finds another man in the 90 days because she knows she's not pregnant, can she go and marry someone else?
If she after 90 days, yes, she can go marry someone else.
Okay, so the wiggle room is basically for both of them, not just for him.
It's for both of them.
Okay, now in that time, if she finds another man and she moves out and sleeps with another man, right? Then she's
She
married. to
marries
someone
another
else.
man. She
Right.
marries another man. Yeah.
Okay, now my point is this: it says if he divorces her, finally, this is after the third time, then she shall not be lawful to him after that until she marries another husband. Now, the woman, now watch this now. I'm going to ask you now. Now watch this. If you divorce your wife, say for the third time, but you know in your heart she's your one, she's your ride and die, she's your girl, she's your wife, you want her back, are you going to tell me that you are okay to watch her jump into bed with another man, get used, get fertilized, get, planted some seeds in her, and then when she's done, she's going to divorce him, and you're going to wait 30 days patiently, and like a cuckold, take her back and go, oh, did you enjoy yourself? How was it? Was he, better than me, worse than me, bigger than me, smaller than me? You tell me that you as a man is going to be okay watching your wife come back to you soiled from another man?
Let me make 3 points on that right there. Number one, Allah said in the Quran, do not let your compassion move you in a manner prescribed by Allah. That's number one. Number two, if you love this woman so much like you say you did, you wouldn't have divorced her 3 times. That's why Allah is making this serious. You do not play games with these women. I'm giving you, I know you make mistakes. I know people get angry, but you say you divorce her 3rd time. No, that's it for you. You're not taking this woman serious.
Okay, but you take her back.
After the 3rd time, no. But here's another point I want to make.
Marriage is so serious. You can sleep with them.
I
for
grew up
3
as a
days,
Christian.
give them money,
No one
and
asked
kick
you
them out the
those.
door.
That's all nonsense in life. You're not interested in that.
I grew up as a Christian, and I was shocked to find out.
Not the topic, bro.
Hold on,
Just focus on the topic.
I didn't say nothing.
Focus on the topic. Travis, what were you saying?
Yeah, marriage is so serious that Muhammad allowed people to sleep
Talking
with
about
women.
marriage. I
Or
just
here,
said I grew up
just
as a Christian.
Here, that
No
Muhammad
one
allowed
asked you
people.
about your Christian background. That's a
Well,
lie.
listen,
That's
I'm going to
offensive.
go if you're going to keep muting me.
Yeah,
I'm going to go.
Travis
Have a
was
good one.
talking. I'm not sure if you heard him speak. Did you hear him speak?
I was saying in the Bible, it says you can marry the brother. she can marry the brother.
Okay, marry the brother then. Marry the brother. In Islam, you can marry.
No,
your
that's
own
what your Bible
daughter.
says. That's what your
In Islam, you can marry your daughter.
the man
if she's
she
a-
can marry the
I'm
brother.
talking. Pay attention. The man can marry the daughter of the lover he had. So if he had a lover that's not his wife, and she has a daughter that is his,
That's not.
he is allowed to marry her. So please, dude, focus.
So
Focus.
The Bible says she can marry the brother.
Get on that mute button. So remember in
What do you
chapter
mean when I
two-
say that?
yeah,
You don't
and
want them to hear
remember
that.
in chapter 2 verse 230 of the Quran, our Bible condemns that in Deuteronomy 24. Right? God calls this an abomination for a woman to leave her husband to go become another man's wife and then return to the original husband. God says this defiles the land. Our Bible condemns this. Your God is turning women into hookers, right? He says marriage is so serious. It was so serious that Muhammad had to make concessions that these ravenous, barbarous animals could invade countries, sleep with these women for a few nights, give them some money, and then divorce them. It was so serious. Your prophet had to be given a verse because he was getting too many wives that he can just dispose of any of them that he wanted to in chapter 33 of the Quran. It's so serious.
J for J and fish in a tie. I'm not sure if you guys requested, but I'm just going to bring up Muslims for now, guys. Just Muslims for now. And again, so notice in Islam, imagine allowing your wife to sleep with another man to come back to you. Imagine the type of man you have to be to watch her walk down the aisle with another man because you want her back. It's crazy. But okay, so now let's get back.
Dude,
Hang on a sec.
marriage is so serious you can pick up a wife at Chuck E. Cheese out of the ball pit. Look, right here. This is
I'll make it fast.
This is called the wife trap in Chuck E. Cheese. Muhammad invented the grabby machine. This is how serious marriage is. She's so tiny she can't get out of the ball pit, and then the Muslims would take them home and marry them.
Yes, I fish in a tie.
Okay. These are ossuaries. These are inscriptions in stone. All of them are dated before the year 70. Some of them are dated the year 42. What we have here, the first one is an ossuary. This is Hebrew for Jesus. The IX, which is part of the ichthys fish, the IX stands for Jesus Christ. So in Greek, up here you have Jesus Christ, and then Jesus, as in this person was a follower of Jesus and wanted to make sure that everybody else knew it. This is the Greek for Jesus, and right in front of it you see the Tav, the sign of the cross. So whenever people say, and this is dated to 42. So 13 years after the resurrection. So now you have Muslims and other people say that the crucifixion never happened. Well, these people were eyewitnesses.
Awesome, bro. I'm glad to see
You
your
have-
documents coming along.
You have other signs of the cross. This is dated. This was in the next tomb over, so it's probably dated to like 50. I don't think that cross is showing up. And then two more signs of the cross. That's obviously a sign of the cross. That's the Tav. That's the other cross. And this is very interesting. This is in Greek, and it says John, Jesus, and the fact that this person is mourning John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. This one, this is Hebrew. This is the Jesus part, and this is the other part that says he's like Redeemer. I made it short and said Jesus saves. So this is between 30 and 70, this person wrote on their ossuary that Jesus has saved them. This part here is in Greek. This is in Hebrew. And it says Yeshua, which is Jesus, in Anthos. Anthos is the sprout or blossom of David, meaning these people were saying in Greek and in Hebrew, they were attesting that Jesus is Messiah. This is a big one. Whenever they say the sign of the cross wasn't used until Constantine, that's insanity. This person on their ossuary, on their bone box, has 1, 2, 3, 4 signs of the cross. And it says Jesus Aloth, Yeshua Aloth. Well, what does Aloth mean? Aloth means these different verbs: to go up, ascend, rise. This person put on their ossuary with 4 crosses. Jesus was resurrected. This is the one I really wanted you to see, James and Travis. This is in Greek. This is the name of Jesus in Greek, and then the IOY. And if we go back to the ichthys fish, the IOY stands for Son of God. So this person on their ossuary attested to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, being the Son of God. And this is the last one I'll show. This is the name of Jesus in Aramaic inside of a fish. And we know that the early Christians used fish as symbols of their belief in Jesus. So I went through that pretty fast. If anybody has any questions, you can ask me some other time, but I'll drop because I asked you for
It's
only
on
30
YouTube
seconds.
now, guys. It's on YouTube. So if anyone wants to rewatch it, you have to go to my channel and watch it there on YouTube. So this is going live now. It will stay there. But again, this is brilliant. I'm hoping that at some point you can send that to me when you're done with the entire document.
Okay.
That would
Yeah,
be
I
great.
have. Just send me your email and I'll send you everything.
Yeah, I will do.
So
Okay.
I wanted to show in the
I
Shafi
appreciate
school.
that. Thanks so much, dude.
Thank you for bringing me up. Anything, Travis,
All right.
or else I'll drop.
Oh, take care, bro. No, thanks, man. I appreciate what you're doing.
All right. Thanks.
Archaeology is our friend in Christianity. It's a a demon to Islam. So I wanted to go over really quick. The Shafi school says that you can sleep with your own daughter, and this is on the topic of treatment of women in Islam. So we have quite a few sources mentioning this. We have the other 3 schools of fiqh mentioning what Shafi permits. And one of those is if a man has intercourse, let's say this man here, let's say man A does illegal muta with like a prostitute on the street or whatever. If this woman produces a child, right, which a Muslim would try to marry immediately, if she produces a child, this man that did illegal sexual intercourse, this being his biological daughter, Shafi maintains that he can sleep with the daughter, the little girl right here. So because God doesn't recognize the child as a legitimate child, and this doesn't prohibit him from marrying this child. So essentially in the Shafi school, in the treatment of women, you can sleep with your own daughter. Shafi maintains that zina does not lead to prohibition or of marital relations. Imagine that, guys. In the Shafi school, you can even sleep with your own daughter. This is how Islam gave women their rights.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I
just-
tried to say to
yeah.
the guy earlier. That's exactly what I was talking about. When you have a child out of wedlock, that child you're allowed to marry the child because she's not your daughter through marriage. So again, Islam allows you to marry your daughter. This guy was saying that a wife marries the husband's brother.
Right. So essentially, you can sleep with your own daughter if you join the right school of fiqh. Nawawi shows up and reaffirms the position. The prohibited marriages, one's daughter. He says you're not supposed to marry your daughter Then he goes on and says the prohibition, though, does not extend to children born of a criminal connection, though the woman can never marry her descendant. The man can. So in Islam, essentially, you can marry your own daughter, your own biological daughter, and sleep with her. MashaAllah. But that guy brought a list of reasons why Islam, what Islam did good for women. They get inheritances. We've done this for a long time. What else do they get, James? What else did he mention?
He said that they get the inheritance, they get to keep their land, they get to keep their money, they get to keep the husband can't touch it.
Yeah, this is nothing new. They also get to get cursed by the angels if they don't get in the bedroom like they're told to.
Oz, salam alaikum, my brother.
Hey, brother Oz. God bless you.
I must see. Hey, would it be right if I divert the conversation just a tad bit? The reason being is last night I was down here scrolling through and found one of the rooms where they were talking about free will in Islam. And I don't want to give it away to the person that was in there, and she was defending herself very well. But James, could you explain a little bit better for the Muslims what free will really means in Islam? Because I gave her a lot of really good hadiths that prove it otherwise. But I just want to make sure that if they try to attack the sister again, and I hope she doesn't mind me speaking about it. And if I do, sister, I apologize. Let me know and I'll stop. But I just want to prove that there is no free will in Islam. I want to make sure
that's one of my favorite topics.
James, are your topics kind of like wide open today?
Not really. I would like to stick to the one, but I'll just go quickly through it, and we can do another topic about free will at some point. But watch this, just to give you an example, right? When it comes to the free will of Islam, we have to ask ourselves: is there free will in Islam according to the Quran, which says no, there's not, and according to the Hadiths? No, there's not. A simple verse in the Quran is Surah 10:100. 10:100. For those, I'll just read this quickly for you. And this is a topic that we've done several times, Travis and I. When it comes to that, it says this in 10:100. It said that it is not for any soul to believe, in other words, to become a Muslim, except by the permission or will of Allah. So if I had free will, I would say that, okay, I'm going to become a Muslim. But because Islam tells me that I can't unless Allah wills it, then I can be a Muslim. Now that's one of the best verses. But again, in Surah 54:49, it says, indeed, all things we created with predestination. There's many hadiths and many that we can go on to, but when it comes to Surah 10:100, it says clearly that we don't even have free will to believe in Allah. And we can't believe unless it is the will of Allah. Then you go to the hadith where it says that Allah decided while you were still in your father's loins whether you are created for heaven, for paradise, or for hellfire. So Allah already created you for something. For example, there's a verse in the Quran that says Allah created man and jinn for hellfire. So if Allah created you for something, you can't change what He has created you for. Now, there's another. I'm just going to read this hadith, and it's pretty. It just sums everything up. The hadith talks about the free will because it says. Now, I'll read the hadith, and then we'll get back to the topic, guys. After this hadith will show you that once again, there's no free will. Because it says this. Now, the first part of this hadith is absolute rubbish, like most of the stuff when it comes to science in Islam. It says, this is Sahih Bukhari, volume 8, book 77, number 593. It says, Abdul bin Masud, Allah's apostle, the truthful and truly inspired, said, each one of you collected in the womb of his mother for 40 days. Rubbish. Then turns into a clot for an equal period of 40 days. Rubbish. And then turns into a piece of flesh for a similar 40 days. Rubbish. Now we get to the interesting part. It says, and then Allah sends an angel and orders him to write 4 things. Now, Allah's angel is writing 4 things, and it says this: his provision, his age, whether he will be of the wretched or the blessed in the hereafter. So in this, Allah is deciding now whether you are going to be a good person or a bad person, and he's doing this while you're still in your mother's womb. Now watch this. It says, then the soul is breathed into him, and by Allah, now this is the important part, a person among you may do the deeds of the people of the fire, meaning he's sinning, till there's only a cubit or an arm breadth distance between him and the fire. But then the writing which Allah has ordered the angels to write precedes, meaning what Allah decided in the womb kicks in. So it doesn't matter how close you are to the fire. If Allah decided that you're going to paradise, you will, because it says, and he does the deeds of the people of paradise and enters it. And a man may do the deeds of the people of paradise till there is only a cubit or 2 between him and paradise. And then the writing proceeds, and he does the deeds of the people of the fire and enters it. So you may do good your entire life, but if Allah has decided that he created you for hell, then at the end of your life, you will start sinning so that you can go to hell, and Allah is justified because he created you for hell. Now, if you had free will, you would know whether you are going to change the outcome, but you can't, because if Allah decrees something, there's nothing you can do about it. That we find in the Quran again in Surah 488, because that tells you that when Allah decides something, there is nothing that you can do to change what he decided. The verse says this: what is the matter with you, 2 groups concerning the hypocrites, while Allah has made them fall back into error and disbelief for what they earned? Now Allah makes you commit sin, remember that. It says, do you wish to guide those whom Allah has sent astray? Notice this, Allah sends people astray. Do you wish to guide those whom Allah has sent astray? And he who Allah sends astray, never will you find for him a way. Never. Because Allah has decided to send you astray. So you can't say, I'm going to become a better person. No. If Allah has sent you back into disbelief, has sent you astray, there is nothing that you can do to change it. Hope
James,
that helps.
Yep, and we can show from the early schools, the 4 schools of jurisprudence, that the idea of free will is not really what we consider free will. Imam Malik has a really good section on this in the Al-Muwatta of Imam Malik on page 737. He says that God is both the guide and the tempter. We know that our Bible says that, yeah, this is disgusting. Our Bible says in James 1:13 that God is not tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone. Now, one last thing really quick. He actually goes over all the hadith James just went over: Adam refuting Moses, people getting smacked out of Adam's left and right shoulder for hell. And then Imam Malik says he thinks people should lose their lives or be put to the sword for believing in free will. According to Malik, the paternal uncle of Abu Malik said, once I was walking with Umar, what is your opinion on the proponents of free will? So I said, I think they should recant their false doctrine. And if they do not, they should be put to the sword. Umar said, that's my opinion too. Malik said, that is my opinion too. God, your God is both the guide and the tempter. Everything's already been decreed. Your God is a fatalistic
I'll
God.
just give them one more hadith, right? Now this again.
Can you post it on Telegram, brother? Post all of that in Telegram for me, just the hadiths, please.
Yeah, sure. So there's another hadith, Sahih Muslim, book 033, number 6422. This is again, guys. Abu Hurairah reported, Allah's messenger saying that Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in. There will be no escape from it. Notice, guys, if you had free will, then you would choose not to commit sin. You would choose not to commit adultery because you have the choice. Now, this hadith is telling us clearly that Allah is the one that fixes the very portion of adultery, knowing that adultery is punishable by death. So Allah fixes this adultery, and it says, which a man will indulge in, that there's no escape from it, meaning that you don't have your free will. So can you comprehend the absolute evil nature of this Islamic teaching? Will a loving God willfully submit its own creation to commit such an evil act as adultery, which they of necessity must commit and then be punished for?
This God is evil, bro.
I'll send it to you, Oz. I'll send you. There's so many. For example, the birds of paradise, where, and this is, I'll give you this one. This is also a good one because this one talks about how children in Islam are sent to hell, right?
Wait, you said children?
Yeah, this one is Sahih Muslim 2662b.
Oh, I
where
got that one. Yeah.
children, little children will go to hell. Sahih Muslim 2662b says this: there is happiness for this child. Let me actually hang on a second. I'll give you an even better one. Sahih Muslim 2662c. Sahih Muslim 2662c says this: Allah's Messenger, there is happiness for this child who is a bird from the birds of paradise. For it committed no sin, nor has he reached the age when one can commit sin. He said, Muhammad said, Aisha, peradventure it may be otherwise, because Allah created for paradise those who are fit for it while they were yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins. Now that's a boom shakalaka right there. That's a checkmate, because that will tell you clearly that if Allah created even little children for hell, there's nothing that they can do to change that. So Muslims, no matter how many good deeds you do, you will never be assured salvation. You will never be assured that you know where you're going, because Allah is the one that decided while you were yet in your father's womb, the father's loins, whether you're going to go to heaven or hell. What do you think of that, Oz? Because that's a good one. I like that one.
Yes, I've read that one before, and brother, that scares me. That it scares me because these Muslims follow that willingly, and they believe it,
Mhm.
and they're willing to go and willing to go to the they're unaliving for it, and they don't even know if they're going to make it or not, but they're willing to do that. It's sad, really. It really is sad.
Extremely sad. And Muhammad said it himself. He said, I've got no idea where I'm going. How can I tell you where you're going if I don't know where I'm going?
James, you think the live would be flooded with Muslims to come up here and tell us what Islam did for women?
Yeah.
Like, here's your chance.
You okay with that, Oz? I can send you more if you want to.
I greatly appreciate it. No, yeah, let's continue with what you had, man. I just had my heart goes out to those people, man, and especially in that
whatever
one
you're
room.
speaking
They
about
just
is in
kept
the
lying
chat
to each
room,
other.
so yeah, hopefully they had
Awesome.
it. Hopefully that's why I gave the references, so that they can go back and have a look at it. Because again, guys, especially you guys in the chat, we're not just sitting over here making things up. You guys, you Muslims, have provided us with everything. All we're doing is just repeating. All we're going to do is just read. And all we're doing is reading for you guys from your books. Okay. Let's get back. Are there any Muslims that want to continue the conversation about the treatment of women in Islam? And again, guys, we haven't even opened up the hadiths yet. We just barely touched on them. So anyone that thinks that, female circumcision is a good thing, yes, that's not a cultural thing, that's a Muslim thing. Now we can go. M is saying, Alhamdulillah. M, you are more than welcome to request. And if you're not a Muslim, guys, I apologize. I will drop you.
Thanks.
Roman, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Are you a Muslim?
I used to be a Muslim. Not anymore.
Why did you leave Islam? It's the best religion available, apparently.
It does and does not. There's some benefits in it, but maybe
Being a woman, yeah.
it's on Muslims. But I can say the same thing about Christianity. I don't think of Judaism.
Beautiful.
There's some. Huh?
So, but you're not a Muslim, right?
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore. So I just want to say thank you for coming. You can see on the screen it says Muslims request. I'm not sure. Would you like to add anything before I let you go, or?
Oh, you let me go.
Yeah, I want, again, it's Muslims request. I want to talk to Muslims.
Okay, I will fly like a bird then.
No worries, dude. Fly like Borat, he managed to go all the way to the heavens. Take care, my man. God bless you. Okay, so M, you seem to be in the chats putting your pagan symbol, the moon and the star. You're more than welcome to come up. More than welcome, man. Come on. Come on, M. You know you want to. You want to defend, man. You want to defend. M, more than welcome to come up. Is M a female? Okay.
First question we get this morning. How old was Rebecca? We hadn't even started talking about the age of marriage in Islam yet. This is what we get. And then we got a response.
Muslims are not coming up. I mean, check out the YouTube, bro. Again, guys, please, my YouTube, go to the YouTube, subscribe there. We will start getting people up in there once we get more people following, and then we can do both. But until then, I just want to, advertise for it so that you guys can join in both on YouTube and on TikTok. Again, we do these lives because, again, we want to bring awareness to the beauty of Islam. Unfortunately, we haven't found that beauty yet. We just ask Muslims to help us find it. That's why we do topics like this. So hopefully this guy is a Muslim. I'm not sure how you say your name. Shrulik.
Hey, what up? I was
How
just
you
gonna
doing?
ask if you can draw Aisha and Muhammad next.
Okay, but guys, it's Muslims request, please. Muslims request.
So this is we actually did. We were talking about divorce a minute ago and the reasons and stuff why you can divorce your wife. Simply not being able to reach the oven. Already done. We're already on it, bro. And then we also showed that he snatched Aisha out of the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese because she wasn't able to get out on her own. She's so tiny. 2'3", 8 pounds, 6 ounces, born 15 minutes ago. But why is there no Muslims coming up on this topic, bro? Because they treat their women's like dogs. They have to have babysitters. They get jailed in 110-degree ninja outfits in the middle of the summer while the husband's swimming around, having a good time in the water. Look at this
Now, we've
picture.
got 2 Muslims in the chat so far. We've got M and we've got M and Alvira, I think it is, one of them. So why don't you guys come up and focus on the topic? You guys have been given a platform. Come up, tell us about this, how women are treated in Islam. I mean, that's mashallah. Look how nice they look. Look at the treatment. At least they get to go to the beach.
Yeah, look. And this is wild, bro, because do you guys think men don't provoke lust too on women?
Let's just say hi to this guy that just came up. I don't know your name, bro. How do you say your name? Senki. Not sure how you say your name, dude. Can you unmute yourself? Senik.
Oh, he's probably got a phone call. So far we got men told women how to dress. That's so beautiful in Islam. When men are we got that women are told how to act in public when they go out in public.
Travis, I'm gonna just mute for 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. We got women needing babysitters when they go out. They're getting told how to act in public. This is what Islam brought to women. These are some of the answers we've got, guys. Islam gave women an inheritance, which is less than a man, by the way. But we haven't even hit on these nasty topics of sleeping with kids and doing grape with your wife and stuff. So since James isn't here, I'll show from the Hanafi school something. So you'll find this in both translations of the Hidayah in the Hanafi school, that because the man spends on his wife, she's entitled to maintenance, notwithstanding her opposition, because being in his power, he may enjoy her by force. So when you get down to the nitty gritty of how Islam treats women, they're nothing more than just sexual objects. Now, this is also in another translation of the Hidayah. It says, if the woman goes away, she's not entitled to maintenance until she returns to the house, blah, blah, blah. And then when she returns, this is distinguished from the situation where refuses to have sexual intercourse while remaining in her husband's house as confinement persists, and the husband is able to coerce her into intercourse. Now, this word here, the translator just goes ahead and he just puts it out there. This is considered marital graping today. Why does Sharia teach you that you can sleep with your own daughter, grape your own wife? Because these are nothing more than sexual objects. So I'm going to show a slide from Brother Rob Christian. And anytime we show slides from someone else, I like to get the credit. So this is Qurtubi's tafsir on 3823. Subscribe to Rob Christian, by the way, guys. And it says the Arabs refer to the women as goat and sheep because she is silent and weak. Women are cows, horses, and camels, for all are ridden. This is Islam. Women are nothing more than a sex tool.
Giddy up. Oh my goodness. Again, guys, Muslims, please, guys, I'm serious. We would like Muslims to come up. Imagine all doing dawah on a Christian live, introducing Islam to all these people. Maybe you'll get them either to come to Islam, but I think you're more afraid of them leaving Islam, because you saw the first guy that came up. I mean, what did he say? Yesterday it was, there's wisdom in sleeping with a 9-year-old. Today it was that it's so warm in Africa, and because of the heat, the woman had to be circumcised because it made them excited. They got excited down there, so they needed to be snipped and clipped. Imagine saying that. I hope that's on YouTube. Telling everybody, telling the world it's because of the African heat that they needed to clip the woman down the bottom because they were getting too excited in the heat. Not knowing that I'm from Africa, he said, in Africa, you know it's hot. Oh my goodness. Man, if I was a teenager, I'd want to meet all of them women.
This guy literally said they did FGMing to little girls because it gets hot down there in Africa and they get excited. James isn't lying, guys. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, Alvira, I just muted you as well because you're just in the chats pretending you know something. Come up, and again, if you stick to topic, we don't mute. The only time we mute you guys if you guys don't know how to have a conversation, and if you focus on everything other than the topic, then unfortunately we will mute you just to bring you back. Just to bring you back. I don't think that we're rude or disgusting people because we're keeping you on topic. And just because you guys can't focus, it's not us. It's going to be on YouTube, right? So on YouTube, after the show is done, it'll be saved on YouTube, and then you can go back and watch it. Just like all other videos. So this is going to be good because, again, I get so many people asking me, where do I go to watch the videos? Did you save it? Did you do something? Which reminds me, Sig asked me to do something for him. But yeah, man. So again, looking at the Quran and looking at what the hadiths are saying, we need to understand what is it that Muslims are running to Islam for. I'll show you the YouTube channel again, guys. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can find it now. There we go. So let me show it to you. So this is it. You need to have the @ in front of it so that you can find me. That's the @Agent James Bond _007. Take a screenshot. Appreciate it, guys. Just keep following, subscribing on that. It gives it more momentum. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much. Just keep liking the live. Eventually we will go live. I'm going to bring my editor up, or my publisher.
Hold on, guys. So let me see.
Hey, brother, amen.
Hey, sorry I haven't been coming up for the lives for the past couple of days. I've been having some family stuff, so I've been staying home a little bit.
No worries.
Maybe I'll be able to come back either tomorrow or Friday. But being that I've been home, I actually have had some time to spruce up the channel. I just wanted to come up and show this really quick, if you guys don't mind.
Go for it, bro.
I did this yesterday because I had like 3 or 4 hours. So this is your channel, James, and I went ahead and I took the live. So this is your live right now. This was the one that we did yesterday, guys. So if you guys get a chance, check this one out. If you go to the video, this is for people who missed it yesterday. If you guys go to the video and you go to the description, I went ahead and I put the timestamps for all of the conversations that you guys had yesterday and all of the topics. So if you just click on like this one or whatever, it'll take you directly to the topic of what the conversation was. Also, what I think is really cool, I went ahead and I did this, James, for the next couple of days. Let me go ahead and reload that. I don't know why it's doing that. I went ahead and I made videos. So each day around like 1 or 2 p.m. my time, a new video is gonna be released. I scheduled it all the way up until next week. So some of the conversations we had yesterday, I cut them up into little videos. So they're gonna be released. This one I released yesterday night. This is the guy who said that he went to Bible college and then Paul Bishop cooked him. So that one's already on the channel under videos.
May I have a chance to say something, sir?
1 second. He's talking.
Ernest, give me 1 second. Yeah, Ernest, give me 1 second, and then I'm gonna drop, and then you can cook them. This one,
hang on. He said he's gonna cook you.
Okay. This is the Qur'ani Muslim that challenged the panel. Where's the Takia is? This is the guy who said that there's wisdom in child marriage.
Oh, amen.
So that one is scheduled. This is the guy who said there's wisdom in child marriage. That one's going to be released on the 26th. So every day a new video is going to be released. So what I'm doing is I am cutting up the videos during the live stream. So after this one is done, then you guys can check those out as well. I'll try to put timestamps under this live video. James, on your TikTok panel, on the tab that you have TikTok open on, go to theater mode so that it can show. Yeah, go to the tab where TikTok is, and go to and enable theater mode.
Where do I find that?
Look,
hang on a second. Let me see. I'm just gonna
put yourself back on big screen.
Okay, so where do I find
right.
theater mode?
So in the middle of that video, you know where you toggle down at the bottom to click on full screen? There should be an option that says, yeah, that one, theater mode. There you go. And now go back to StreamYard. Okay. So that it looks better like that. Yeah. So you can see the comments and so that you can see the video a little bit better. Because before it wasn't showing as well. It just showed like all of it, but now you're able to see it a little bit better on YouTube. So, anyways, guys,
Wow, all the stuff you know, dude. Wow.
Thanks for
so like I
everything you're
said,
doing, bro.
hopefully, yeah, man. I mean, hopefully on Monday I'll be able to not Monday, this Friday I'll be able to come back. Did the stream end, James? Did you end the live or no?
What is your religion?
Okay. Yeah, so it looks better now on YouTube.
Hey, hang on, Ernest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
perfect.
All right.
So,
That's
guys,
wonderful. All right,
in
guys.
2 weeks, I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, James.
No, I'm just. I'll
Were you
speak to you
saying
guys later. I'll send you guys. Yeah, no.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, I'm in the motherland.
Okay. Okay.
So I might end up doing a little. So this is good that it gives a new video each day, so it just keeps it occupied on YouTube, which is brilliant.
Yeah, like from all the lives that we're doing, I'm just gonna try to cut them up into videos and they just release every day. That way, because the algorithm on YouTube is weird. Like if you don't post or do something every day, it's not really gonna push it out to people. So this will give a chance to people who have like busy schedules, if they can't watch a whole live, they can just watch like the little 15-minute debate of somebody getting cooked or whatever. Guys, if it's possible, I said this yesterday, can you guys please get James up to at least 500 subscribers? I think he has like 1,000, like thousands of subscribers on TikTok. So, I mean, like, guys, if it's possible, just get him up to at least 500. Once he gets there, it might be able to get pushed out to more people so he can get to 1,000. And make sure that you guys like the video and comment. It's just for the algorithm. We're not asking for money. Like, we don't do like the Muslims do, selling dawah scripts. We just need subscribers and we need likes and comments under the video so it'll push it out.
Hang on. I'm gonna start charging people for every comment they make and every heart they pass. It's gonna cost them
5 cents. But yeah, guys, just go ahead and do that if you can. And yeah, let's try to get this message out. I'll be coming back up periodically throughout the day. I got to go help my wife do some stuff, but I'm listening and I'll be managing the comments.
Thanks, bro.
below.
God bless. Amen.
Thank you.
God bless, guys.
Okay, so that's my YouTube again, guys. Last chance. It's like hotcakes, man. It's getting sold out. But let's just focus on that now. Okay, beautiful. So let's get back to the topic once again. So again, reason for this topic, it's because we discuss Islam almost every single day, and we learn something new every single day, and we challenge what we hear every single day. For example, that Islam is a religion that treats women, beautifully. What we want to do is just have this conversation. User, you there? User. I think TikTok is bringing people up. Without them requesting. So again, guys, let's just focus again onto the topic. And the topic again, as always, is to do with us finding truth. So Alvira, I muted you, yes, but you're more than welcome to come up. Stop in the comments trying to pick on me and tell me that we mute people and do this, that, and the other. We're talking about your Allah and your religion. Now let's look at Islam, right? Because if we talk about the beauty of Islam, we have to find out, well, where does it come from? Because remember, Allah supported the arrangement that favors one wife over the other, right? He actually supports this because it says in Bukhari, it says, narrated Aisha that Sauda bin Zam gave up her turn to me. So the Prophet used to give me both my day and the day of Sauda. Now that's a beautiful treatment of a little girl. She got to play twice that week on the swings because Muhammad gave her special privilege. But are there other privileges that we can talk about? Like, for example, Sahih Bukhari, Now, again, we can obviously go back to what was given to us. If we go to Sahih Bukhari and we go to 304, Sahih Bukhari 304, let's see what it says about the woman. Now, before I start telling you that Allah says that, you know, they compares women to dogs and donkeys, that will tell you more about how women are treated in Islam than if I tell you. So again, Sahih Bukhari 304 says this. It says, once Allah's messenger went to the Musalla to offer the prayer. Then he came past the woman and said, O woman, give alms, as I have seen that the majority of the dwellers of hellfire were you, woman. Now we know that's where Muhammad was, in hell. They asked, why is it so, O Allah's messenger? He replied, you curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands. In fact, I apologize. I should show this on the screen so that you guys can see it. Right, there we go. So it says, this is Sahih Bukhari 304. Right, Bukhari himself. Once Allah's messenger went out into the Musalla to offer his prayer, then he passed by the woman and said, O woman, give alms, as I have seen that the majority of the dwellers of hellfire were you, woman. They asked, why is it so, O Allah's messenger? Then he replied, you curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands. Shame. I have not seen anyone more deficient in intelligence and religion than you. A cautious, sensible man could be led astray by some of you. The woman asked, O Allah's messenger, what is deficient in our intelligence and religion? He said, is it not the evidence of two women equal to the witness of one man? Wow. They replied in the affirmative. He said, this is the deficiency in her intelligence. Isn't it true that a woman can neither pray nor fast during her menses? The woman replied in the affirmative. He said, this is the deficiency in her religion. Now, when we say deficient in intelligence, he's basically saying she's a dummy. She's stupid. But that's what Allah thinks of the woman, that they're deficient in intelligence because, once again, it goes back to the husbands. They are ungrateful to their husbands. So again, the man is above the woman. Again, like in Surah 434, where Allah, he appreciates the one over the other in abundance. He prefers the men over the woman because of their deficiencies. Travis, do you want to show something before I go to the next hadith?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump to the history of Al-Tabari, backing this up really quick in page 280 to 281. Listen to this, guys. When God asked what had caused Adam's trouble, he replied, Eve, my Lord. Whereupon God said, now it is my obligation to make her bleed once every month as she has made this tree bleed. I also must make her stupid, although I created her to be intelligent, and must make her suffer pregnancy and birth with difficulty, although I made it easy for her to be pregnant and give birth. Ibn Zayd continued, were it not for the affliction that affected Eve, now you guys don't believe in original sin, but you're suffering from it, all the half-brains, then the women of this world would not menstruate, and they would be intelligent. Why do all the Muslim scholars say women are dumb? It's because of what Muhammad said. The hadith James just read.
Now we'll go to another one to confer. Let's see. This again, Sahih Jami at Tirmidhi 1158. Now, guys, the only reason we're reading this is because no Muslims are coming up to tell us about how fantastic Islam is for the woman, so we'll just read. All we're going to do is read. The Prophet saw a woman. Then he went to Zainab to fulfill his need. Imagine that. Instead of lowering his gaze, Muhammad couldn't stop eyeballing the woman walking past, dressed like a ninja. The Prophet saw a woman. Then he went to Zainab to fulfill his need. And he left. He said, indeed, when the woman enters, she enters in the image of Shaitan. So when one of you sees a woman that he is fascinated with, let him go to his wife, for indeed with his wife is the same as that which is with her. Not lower your gaze. Not lower your gaze, but instead go and be with your wife, because it's the same as being with the other woman. Not lower your gaze, guys. What happened to lower your gaze? What does Muhammad do? He looked at a woman, he ran. Instead of controlling his urges, controlling his emotions. Imagine going to the mall, sitting down there, your wife is shopping. Now, you know, the men stand outside, the women are inside. You're like, oh man, another shop. And you sitting down there, and this woman go walking by, swinging them hips from the left to the right. She's walking by. You forgot to lower your gaze. You look up, you see her, boom, shakalaka. You think you're in the African heat and you can't control your urges because it starts getting excited, because you know when it's hot, the African heat makes you excited, apparently. Now, your wife's still shopping there. Now, she's going to be trying on a new dress. You just walk into the change room and you ravish her. Why? To fulfill your need. Not like, you know, maybe when we get back home. Be like Muhammad. He looked at a woman, didn't lower his gaze. Nowhere does he lower his gaze. Instead, he runs, he jumps, he vaults over everything else. Take his wife, Zainab. Now this is because the woman, there we go. The woman enters as what? In the image of Shaitan. That's right, guys. You ladies in the chats, don't forget that this is what Muslims are taught about you. Now I'm going to show you that Shaitan and dogs and donkeys are probably all the same thing, because Aisha was compared to a dog and a donkey.
James, can I just say something?
Say again?
Can I just say something really quick?
Yeah.
Bro, we hear something crazy on your live almost every day, man. I still can't get over the fact that the man said that the girls were circumcised because it's warmer there and they get more excited as the temperature rises.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we hear something dumb every day. The last thing we heard dumb on your live was how to strike your wife, but you know.
Yeah. Well, no, the last thing
is to throw leaves at her.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Throw leaves at her. That there's wisdom in sleeping with a 9-year-old. That the African heat causes women to get excited at 6 years old, so they need to be circumcised to be married at 9. That's right.
Yeah, the guy said literally, this is how you beat your wife in Islam. You take her outside and you throw leaves at her. we had another guy say how you strike your wife is to get like a picket stick and make a sign like you do in America, and you strike at work. You just walk around outside with a sign.
You notice your neighbor's also striking. He's also got an A4 piece of paper on a stick, and he's walking around going, I'm striking my wife. I'm striking my wife.
Yeah, she's striking herself, bro. And she's having a good time. Dude, this is wild. I have never in my life heard that you have to do FGMing to little girls because they get excited when it gets warm.
Yeah, and guys, I am African. For the guy that says stop talking about Africa, I am African, born in Africa. So I know that when the guy tells me that the African heat is the one that causes women to get excited, I know it's rubbish, because I am from Africa, born there. Now watch this, guys. This is Sahih Bukhari 514. Sahih Bukhari 514. Pay attention. The things that annul prayer were mentioned before me, narrated Aisha. So Aisha is saying the three things that were annulled before me, that were mentioned before me: a dog, a donkey, and a woman. That's right. A dog, a donkey, and a woman annuls prayer. I said, you, talking to Muhammad, you have compared us women to donkeys and dogs. Who let the dogs out? That's probably why the song came along, you see, because the women were out shopping and the Muslims were like, man, what's wrong with you? Anyway, by Allah, I saw the Prophet praying while I used to lie in my bed between him and the Qibla. Whenever I was in need of something, I disliked to sit and trouble the Prophet. So I would slip away by the side of his feet, feeling like a dog or a donkey. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. This shaitan that walks around in the form of a shaitan is also equal to a dog and a donkey. This is the Islam that you women are converting to. You women that go to find some man because he looks pretty with his newly clipped beard, you guys are a Muslim, knowing or unknowing that these Muslim men look at you as shaitan, look at you as equal to a dog, a donkey, that you are deficient in intelligence, deficient in religion. Wow. We haven't even spoken yet about how to beat your wife. But this is what's left. You women running to Islam thinking that this is the way out, this is a better alternative. Notice what you are equal to. A dog, a donkey, shaitan. The image, the form of shaitan. Not only that, you may also circumcise them because it's so hot. Again, Africa got blamed because these guys only blame Africa. Sorry, Travis, what did you say?
No, I'm just saying, bro, I'm trying to keep a list of everything that we've got, told this morning so far of how Islam gave women rights and stuff like that and how Islam treats women. So far, can we just recap a little bit? Islam taught women how to dress. Is that one of them, right? That was one of them. How to dress, how to act in public, how to act. What else? And inheritance.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the three things I think we've gotten told so far.
They're going to talk about, they were first to be sent to university, to school or something.
Yeah, but if you dig through some of the law books, it teaches that women aren't even supposed to go outside of the house to go to school unless it's just going to do like Quranic studies.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Really going out.
I forgot when I was giving you the list, my list. I forgot to say that also. Not only are they equal to dogs, donkeys, shaitan, they are deficient in intelligence. They are deficient in religion. Also, hellfire is full of women, or majority of the people in hellfire are women. Guys, Muslims, we don't want to just sit up over here and just keep reading these hadiths over and over. I still have probably 30 more that I just have, available to me, which is, I know there's more. I want you guys to come up and explain to us how women are treated in Islam. Please, any Muslim that wants to request, you're more than welcome to. We have Ali.
Assalamu alaikum ya akhwa.
Wa alaikum salam. I'm sorry, my brother. Salam al-Masih.
Brother,
the guy is asking for money. So that's why I dropped him. It's not to do with anything else. These are educational lives, not, anyway. So again, guys, that's right. I mean, let's see, Travis, if you want to continue for a bit, I can just do something on the side over here, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Go ahead. So I guess we'll just I think child marriage kind of falls right into topic here. So Islam teaches how to consummate, penetrate, groom children even under the age of 9. So I think this would be a really good topic. So I'll just show a couple sources really quick. Oh, here's a slide from Brother Rob Christian, and I like to plug his YouTube channel. He's a pretty smart guy, man, and he finds these wild sources. So in this book, it says there are 8 types of animals that can menstruate, and among those is a woman. And I think it lists a hyena also and stuff like that. So if you look at these books, women are just regarded as mere cattle that you can just ride and do the Muslim Olympics with. And before we go to the child marriage topic, which just kind of falls in line with it, Muhammad asked one of his friends, why didn't you marry a little kid so that you could do the Muslim Olympics with her? So let me read the hadith to the room really quick. And then Jabir's response here is it's really amazing what he says. He's like, Muhammad, you big dummy, I don't need any more kids in my house. So imagine this. Abdullah died and left behind 9 or 7 kids. So this is Muhammad's friend Jabir he's going to be talking to. I married a woman who had previously been married. Allah's messenger shows up and says, Jabir, have you married? Muhammad always getting excited. I said, yes. He said, to a virgin or one previously married? I said, messenger of Allah, with one who was previously married. Whereupon he said, why didn't you marry a young girl so that you could do sport with her? Here comes the Muslim Olympics, guys, in 2028. This is going to be the Muslim Olympics. Why didn't you marry a young girl so that you could do sport with her and she could do sport with you and you could amuse with her and she could amuse with you? I said to him, Muhammad, Abdullah died. He left behind 9 or 7 kids. I don't know how many kids are in my house right now. 9 or 7. He left 9 or 7 daughters behind. I didn't approve of the idea that I should bring one like them. I don't want any more little kids in my house, Muhammad. But I preferred to bring in a woman who could look after them and teach them good manners. He's like, you big dummy. I got so many kids. I don't need another one. I don't need to marry a kid. I need to bring a woman into the house. So coming in 2028, you're going to have the Muslim Olympics. You're going to get a gold medal. Whoever does the best sport with their child brides. This is what Muhammad was provoking here. Why didn't you get a little kid so you could sport with her? But I think that Arabic is even worse here. I think it's everything all the way up into intercourse. So I wanted to go to the child marriage topic thing really quick because this is disgusting. Well, before we go to that, I want to go back to something James said really quick. So you guys know on October 7th, when the barbarous animals, the ravaging animals of Allah, the most horny, showed up in Israel and they take female captives and what they did to them. Their law books teach that they can take these right-hand captives and do grape with them even without their consent. Now, this is from the Hanafi school. A master may contract his female slave in marriage, whether she be young or full-grown, sane or insane. She has no option in the matter. And you find this everywhere, that you can take your right-hand possession and throw her in the bed and just enjoy her however you want. So let me show one more source because we like to have 2 witnesses when we say something. Let me just find the source really quick. I wasn't quite ready. Sorry, guys. I was in the middle of drawing and James kind of had something come up. So I'm going to show you guys another source where you can do grapey with your slave girl. If I can find it. And if anybody wants to come up, man, and fill some airwaves for a second. These teachings are horrendous. Anyways, I'll find that in a minute. But this is what Islam teaches about little girls, guys. All right, so this is the basically the consensus when you can sleep with your child bride. Not based off age, not based off puberty. Don't let Muslims talk to you about puberty. There's no requirement to reach puberty before you marry them or have intercourse with them. So this is out of the Hanafi school. Most of the scholars are of the opinion that her age is not to be considered. What is to be considered is the girl's ability to have intercourse. If she's of great size and fat and able to handle sex with a man, and it's not feared that she'll get harmed by that, the husband is allowed to have intercourse with her even though she should not have reached the age of 9 years.
And when they
But if
travel,
he has, oh, go
sorry,
ahead,
one
bro.
second. Nad, I sent you an invite. Nad, invite sent. You guys, we are offering you a platform to make your case. Please come up. Sorry, Travis, go on.
Oh, no, it's okay. We're just basically at this point, since no Muslim can come up here and tell us what Islam offers women other than how to dress, how to act in public while they're out on the playground, and that they get an inheritance. We haven't really got anything that Islam brought to women.
Not at all. What they did bring to women, though, is that if a man is upset with his wife because she doesn't want to sleep with him, pay attention, guys. If a man is upset with his woman because she doesn't want to sleep with him, the angels will curse her all night. All night long, she will be cursed because she didn't open her legs for her husband. Imagine that.
So far, this is what we got. Islam taught women how to dress because they're little kids. They need to be told how to dress, how to act, and they get money. This is what Islam brought to women so far.
And then you go to the Quran where it says you can tilt you can tilt your woman like a field. Imagine that. Your woman is a field that you can plow her as you wish. Surah 2:23. Bambina, please request, come on. Nad, come on. Have a conversation with us. Don't say that we're lying. Your Quran says you can, do what you need to do. Do it as you want to do it. And also tells you that no woman should annoy her husband. Imagine that being told by God himself, listen, don't you dare annoy your husband. And this again comes from Muhammad, apparently, because his wives were annoying him. And Allah said to his wives, listen, man, if you guys don't behave, I will replace you and give Muhammad even better wives. Imagine that. Imagine that. I like one. There's one, I'm not sure if you know this, where it says that a mat in the house is better than a woman that doesn't give birth. Do you guys know that one?
Wow.
Now, it's not Muhammad talking. I'll show you guys this, right? Mat in the house, a woman give, let me just find the word. Let me see, it's, there we go. So watch this, guys. Again, we will take you to the hadith. So this is the hadith. This is Sunan Abi Dawud. Sunan Abi Dawud, 3922. Sunan Abi Dawud, 3922. Now again, this is not Muhammad speaking or anything like that, but we'll read it anyways. It says, an omen, now an omen is something bad, is in a dwelling, a woman, or a horse. Right. Abu Dawud said, this tradition was read out to Al-Harith B. Mishkin, and I was witness. It was said to him that Ibn Qasim told him that Malik was asked about evil omen in a horse and in a house. He replied, there are many houses in which people lived and perished, and again, others lived therein and they also perished. This is its explanation as far as we know. Allah knows best. Abu Dawud said, Umar Umar said, a mat in a house is better than a woman who does not give birth to a child. Now notice this. It was narrated from Abdullah bin Umar that Messenger of Allah said, so Muhammad said this. The Messenger of Allah said, Abu Dawood said that a woman who does not give birth is worse than a mat in the house. Now, Aisha didn't give birth, guys, to anyone, meaning that Aisha is worse than a mat in a house.
So if no Muslims want to come up, bro, we're just going to keep teaching what Islam, how Islam teaches to treat women.
Exactly. So why would a woman become a Muslim knowing that if she's unable to give birth to a child, you might as well just go get yourself a new mat? A mat in the house better than a woman who does not give birth to a child. Muslims, come up, please defend or at least explain, because we are desperate now for some explanation. This can't be the way women are supposed to be treated.
Sorry, I'm asking for the source again.
It is Sunan Abi Dawood 3922.
All right.
3922.
Thanks, bro. Now imagine this: somebody who can't have kids being told that, and really the women that couldn't have Muhammad's kids is probably because he ruined them. You know, he would visit them all in one night on a single bath, probably spreading, you know, disastrous STDs and wrecking little girls. So I think Muhammad was, you know, big cause of that. But so on chapter 4, verse 24 of the Quran, let's just keep teaching them what Islam teaches about women if they're not going to come up here and defend their sick God. So this is the tafsir in chapter 4, verse 24. This is where the Muslim men, the followers of Allah, the most barbarous, the most ravenous and horny, says that these Muslim men can invade your villages, enjoy your wife while you're tied up next door in the next mud hut. So this is the verse that teaches sex captives and what you can do with them. So the two Jalals, so when we read Jalalain, I think it's the two Jalals. I think there's two of them. It's not just one person. And forbidden to you are wedded women, those with spouses, that you should marry them before they had left their spouses, and be they Muslim free women or not, save what your right hand owns of captured slave girls. Hold on just a second, friend. Listen to what it says, guys. That whom you may have sexual intercourse with, even if they should have spouses among the enemy camp, after they have been resolved of the being pregnant. So this teaches that the Muslims can come into your land, you be tied up next door, and they'll be enjoying your wife. This is disgusting. Who would grant these kind of permissions to people other than an animal?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? Go ahead.
I wanted to ask just a quick question. I know that you're reading about like marriage and all that stuff, but I haven't heard if they actually get married in a mosque, like with young kids.
Wait, so are you just asking whether they do it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just witnessed one of these marriages going down in Afghanistan. CNN was given access to the marriage here.
Hold on, in a mosque? In the actual mosque?
It doesn't have to be in a mosque, friend.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
Here, let me
because
show you
with Christians, you go to a church.
Balwana's family moved to this camp.
Look, this girl's just playing with dolls, bro. Watch this. Just outside playing, just like Precious Aisha on the playground.
Work, earning $3 a day,
Hold on.
providing the
Look how tiny this girl is. I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
no food. I have to sell my daughter, he says. School and becoming a
Look,
teacher applies.
she was just outside playing with kids.
Pastime for little girls. But Parwana knows she is preparing for what awaits her. My father has sold me because we don't have bread, rice,
Look
and
how
flour.
tiny she is,
He has
bro.
sold me to
Watch.
an old man for 2,000 US
Look, he shows up and buys her for $2,000.
Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her.
She's crying,
This is your
dude.
bride. Please take care of her, says Parwana's father.
Look, there's Muhammad,
Of
everyone.
course I will take care of
Muhammad
her,
and
replies the
Aisha
man.
just reincarnated.
His large hands grab her
She don't
small
want to go
hand.
because she's prepubescent. She doesn't have an option in the matter. And then
As
she
he
gets
carries
outside.
the only bag
She
of
tries to get away
belongings,
again.
She again resists.
Look,
Digging her heels into the dirt,
this is a sick cult invented by Muhammad's penis.
the fate of the
Because this is Sharia.
rural parts of Afghanistan.
That's sad what children have to go through, man.
Because of
Yeah,
what
that's
Muhammad
why we're
did.
hoping for Muslims to come up, my brother, so we can have conversations with them.
No worries.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's
You
any
have a
that's
good day or night.
taken.
See ya.
Bless you.
Right, right. So.
So this is the rights that Islam gave women and wives. 9-year-olds getting fondled by 55-year-old men.
Again, guys, just so that you know, we're not just saying these things just to say it. This is a warning to the West, and it's a warning to you Muslim women. You Muslim women that think that you're going to find something better in Islam because you met some dude. No. Open your eyes to the truth first and remember this. This may not apply to you, but it will apply to your daughter. Being married off like this little girl, your daughter. Being shipped back to Iran or Iraq to get married at 18 or to get circumcised, your daughter, exactly. So as long as you close the door to Christianity and open the door to Islam, you're opening this whole big tin of worms, and there's no coming out of it. And this is the problem with Islam today. When you enter, they warn you that you can't leave because they don't want you to. So they tell you that you'll be unalived. Salam alaikum, my brother Albi.
Hey, brother Albi.
Hey guys, salam alaikum. God bless.
God bless, bro.
Again, guys, we're talking directly to the woman today. The treatment of women in Islam. Remember, so far we've said that that the majority of the dwellers of hellfire are women. They're deficient in intelligence. They're deficient in religion. They are equal to a dog and a donkey. They move in the shape of shaitan. They are cursed by the angels until morning because they don't sleep with their husbands. They can be beaten. They can be married off at a young age before they even reach the years of menstruation. They can be beaten. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The last hadith I read said, a mat in the house is better than a woman that doesn't give birth. Make it make sense, guys. Why would anybody flock to this religion expecting something different other than what it's actually prescribing? It's there in plain sight. And Muslims are going to say, or these new people, Muslims are going to say, yeah, but they don't practice it today. This was 1400 years ago. Oh, it's not the same as it was back then. Oh, Islam doesn't say this. Oh, Islam doesn't say that. Yet every single day, we should come up with like a warning sign, because we are warning you guys that guess what? This is what is in Islam. They may not do it today, but they can. They may not beat the wives, but they can. They're not marrying young kids, but they can. Doesn't mean because you don't see your neighbor who's a Muslim beating his wife is not allowed. Yes, it is allowed. He just chooses to live better than what Allah says. So we're warning you guys. We're warning every single one of you that thinks that you're moving towards something bigger and better. No, it's deeper and darker. It's far from the truth. It's far from anything that's love, anything that's peace. Stay away from it, guys. This is the message of this video, of this recording. The treatment of women in Islam is all a lie. What you see Muslims tell you are lies. That's why you'll see none of them have come up, none of them to defend.
Brother James. So
Yes.
something else that Islam teaches, they were so grateful to teach how to groom your child bride. So you guys don't come up here. We're going to keep teaching your religion. So this teaches if your child bride's so small and you can only get the end in, when you need to do the washing and when not to do the washing. If a one, this is based out of Hanafi fiqh. If a woman is underage but not so small that if one has intercourse with her, there's fear of tearing the V. I'm gonna have to use code words. The V to the A. If there is fear of tearing that, causing a fistula, that the anus or that they virtually come together, then by the mere insertion of the head of it into her V, the washing will only become mandatory on the man if he has reached the age of puberty. So Islam was nice enough to tell the Muslims how to groom their child brides. If a man has intercourse with any underage woman, the washing will not become mandatory on the condition that the sperm does not come out and the woman is so young that one fears by having intercourse with her, the private parts will become connected. So God will consider her ritually pure. She doesn't need to go do the ghusl, the ritual washing after intercourse because she's so tiny. But the man needs to go do it. Another thing that Islam was so gracious to teach us is what to do with these little girls after you've ripped them from one hole to the next. So this is a source, this is a book used in the courts of Pakistan. And it teaches what to do with your child bride after you've ripped her and destroyed her. When a man has intercourse with a girl under the age of 9 and has ruptured her parts, it's unlawful for him to have further connection with her, but she is not released from her ties if connected with him by marriage or slavery. You destroyed her whole. Now she needs to remain your wife or your slave. If no rupture has taken place, the prohibition is not incurred. You keep doing it to the girl under 9. We have law books teaching what to do with your child bride in Islam after you've destroyed her down there. Absolutely filthy and disgusting. Imam Shafi issues a payment for the girls that you've ripped. You wouldn't have to do this if you don't put your thing where it doesn't belong. A full payment is to be paid for injuries which paralyze.
Travis, you got a bad connection, bro. Travis, you're in the Matrix. Can't hear a word you're saying. Just hang on a sec.
Wait, is it me or is it you?
I'm not sure if it's me or you, but I think it's bad connection from your side.
Guys, do I have a bad connection?
Can you guys hear Travis clearly?
Yeah, let me know if you can hear me clearly. All right, they're saying it's good on their end.
Can you guys hear Travis clearly in the chats?
They're saying it's you, James.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can. I can hear you just fine. We can hear you fine, bro. We hear you just fine, bro.
Yeah, I think it was my connection. Something happened there. Sorry, bro. I thought it was me.
Yeah, I think you're back. Cool, man. Yeah. So this is out of the Shafi school. It teaches that if you injure your wife's V to where it comes to her R, that you need, and they become one, you need to give her a little bit of money. So, and you find this everywhere. Why are you having to teach women? Oh man, I don't know. I'm probably not going to go over this slide because it's so disgusting, dude. I'm going to just go ahead and do it anyways because this is Islam. The women aren't being told about this religion when they enter into it. So this teaches that if air comes from that area down there, that you probably should go do the washing because it might have been a fart. Because this happens when very young girls are subjected to sexual intercourse. This is the author's note in the book, out of the Hidayah. If you have air come out from down there, go do the washing because it might have come from your anus because you've been ripped from one hole to the next. We have law books teaching what the women even have to do after they've been destroyed down there. This is Islam, guys. It's a religion invented in the desert by a 7th century caravan robber. This guy invented his own religion to gratify the weirdos around him. Now,
Come on, Muslims.
Go ahead,
Come
brother.
on, Muslims, guys. Come on, man. This is a live where you guys can come up and help us understand how women are treated in Islam. So we got 128 people on my TikTok live. Why haven't you guys requested? If I change the topic, you guys will request immediately. Immediately. If I have to put on which of these is not allowed in Islam, wife beating, child marriage, slavery, and or eating pork, it seems like you guys will jump up to defend that topic. But when it comes to women in Islam, we don't see you. Yesterday, I think we had like 250 people or 280 people in the live trying to defend this nonsense, the topic I just mentioned. But when it comes to the woman topic, you guys are AWOL. It must be a holiday wherever you guys are, because you guys are definitely not,
So James, wouldn't that further prove that in Islam they don't care about their woman? Because if they did, they'd come to defend their woman.
Boom shakalaka. That's
you would think so.
Yeah.
Listen to this, guys. This is like the Muslim version of Reddit, where you go and you ask a sheikh a question and he answers you. Listen to the questions being asked. Question: Is marriage with a breastfeeding girl permitted? Now you're asking if you can marry an infant. If so, is it allowed to derive sexual pleasure from her, such as kissing and other forms that do not harm her except penetration? This person's asking, can I get pleasure out of my breastfeeding child bride? The scholar answers, if the marriage itself meets all the conditions and then she becomes his wife from all aspects, it is then allowed for the husband to look at her, to touch her, to kiss her. It is not permitted to do intercourse with her until it fits, until she's physically capable of doing so. Listen to the next question, and I'm almost done, and I'll get out of your way, Blocked. Question: What is the ruling on thighing a child? Quick, I need an answer. Like he's got a kid standing in front of him. Quick, answer me. Answer: If what is meant by the question is a man thighing his child bride, then this is permissible, as we have mentioned in 56312. He's standing there like, help, I need an answer quick. I'm standing in front of Chuck E. Cheese.
He's almost 6 years old. He's almost
Right.
3 years old.
Good grief, dude. This religion is disgusting.
Blocked, how are you doing? Blocked, are you there?
Can you let me down? I accidentally must have pushed the wrong button or something.
No worries, brother. God bless you. I don't think it's you, Blocked. I think TikTok is trying to help people come up. But TikTok's like tired of me and Travis asking people to come up. TikTok's like, damn it, just let me help you up.
Oof. This is one of my favorite interviews right here, James. Now, this is the treatment of women. So the woman, you can see the look on her face. You guys can find this video on my profile, but this woman is interviewing this doctor. And you see he got the marks on his head from praying to the silver thing in Mecca. She is thoroughly distraught by the interview that's going on. And I only took screenshots so I don't get James's live ban because it's disgusting. This means that at any age, Dr. Yasser, they don't even need to reach puberty. And then he basically tells her, woman, shut up. Are you convinced by the Quran or not? And he's going over chapter 65, verse 4. Do you believe God's words, yes or no, is what he asked her a couple times. Now, we have another sheikh that says, just exactly what I just read in Sharia, she can get married at 9. The girl only needs to withstand this. Yes, that's Sharia. This is why Daniel Hakikachu told IP in their debate that if a girl at 5 years old, 5-year-old shows signs that she can handle it and tolerate intercourse, then Islam would allow you to sleep with her. He stands 10 toes down on that his God allows you to do this with little girls because the Quran says you can do it.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube. I will be using that as well as TikTok. Please subscribe to my YouTube. LBL has a YouTube as well. The Assyrian, help me out, LB.
It's the biblical mechanic or biblical mechanics.
Oh, the biblical mechanics, guys.
Or biblical mechanics, yeah.
Please, guys, if you want good content, follow LB both on TikTok and on YouTube. Subscribe, tap, share, support the lives, guys, do what you can. Do what you can, because I tell you what, this is like a full-time job for most of us to come on these lives and to do this, to try to help other people. You guys know this. I do this 5 times a week, sometimes 6, and we're on for like 6 hours because, we're dedicating our day to you guys so that you can learn. You guys can get this education for free on TikTok so that you can't say that you haven't been warned and then you become a Muslim and then your husband 434s you and then you say, oh, but this wasn't written down in the Quran before I read that. No, you've been warned. We're warning you guys. This is why we do this every single day. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, it's okay. So another thing that Islam does for women is or little girls is it teaches them that they need to go take a bath if they're really small. So this is a modern day scholar, guys. This isn't just old Islam. This is Islam today. Remember, the Quran allows this kind of activity with little girls in chapter 65, verse 4. If a person, this is a modern scholar, by the way, very popular book in India given to little child brides on their wedding night. If a person has intercourse with a minor girl, the washing will not be obligatory on her. But in order to get her into the habit, she should be made to bathe. Does this sound like a woman to anyone? It's a minor. Why are we teaching that you should get your child bride to go take a bath? Get her into a good habit, guys. After you get done with her, go get her animal crackers and her sippy cup and make her take a bath, and then you lay her down in swaddling little blankets and put her in her cradle. Absolutely filthy and disgusting.
So Muslims, again, last request, you guys, if there's no Muslims, we're going to go through this. We've gone through it now for at least 3-4 hours. And it's unfortunate that you guys don't really want to come up. I do mean that from the bottom of my heart, because you could convince a woman that this is the true religion.
Yeah, and also in the Middle East under Sharia, there is no parent-teacher conferences. There's only husband-teacher conferences.
So that's tough, man. I'll be coming with the jokes this morning.
But hang on, I've got more for you guys. Because again, Allah in the Quran, and I love this in Surah 434, Allah tells us that He prefers one over the other, meaning He prefers the men over the female. Another beautiful thing that Islam has given the woman is that her silence is consent. Now, this is the problem, guys. If you sleep with someone and they didn't give you consent, you would be put in jail for that. But in Islam, guess what? You get high-fived by the next guy because you did what Allah said is okay. You didn't need consent. So his silence, a virgin's silence, is her consent. Now, when I say a virgin, we know what Muslims consider virgin. Again, the Quran says that Aisha was beaten by Muhammad, not the Quran, the Hadith. So that's also treatment of women, that you can beat your woman, in fact, till they're green. Doesn't really matter. It says also that women come in the shape of the devil. Now imagine walking to your wife and you go, listen, man, you look like the devil today. How many of you boys going to walk back over here without a black eye? I dare you Muslim men or you Christian men to go to your wives and say, you look like you're in the shape of a devil today. This is what Islam is saying, that a woman advances in the shape of a devil. Come on, man. Muslims, come on. Come on. How can you guys try to justify this type of nonsense and then tell women that Islam has given women the best treatment ever? Make it make sense.
Exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but isn't it true that hell is filled with women?
That's right.
Yep.
Majority of the dwellers of
hellfire.
hellfire.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the majority of the dwellers of hellfire are women. Sahih Bukhari 304. Come on, guys, Muslims, where are you? Imagine that. The men also in heaven, paradise, will get 72 virgins. 2 from the Houris, 70 from the inheritance from the people of hell. So you're not just in hell, man. You're going to be in hell because these men are going to be using you. All of whom have desirable front passage. Well, I've got to read this to you guys. This, I'm not sure if you guys know this one about the desirable front passage. So Allah created the woman so beautifully that when they come out of hell, they will have a desirable front passage. So watch this. Where did I find that one? Ah, it's been downgraded to Daif. Oh, this is new. Hang on a second. Let me see the Arabic if that says Daif. Things have changed. They've moved it to Daif. Let me see. I've got to find it if it was truly moved over to Daif. So this one, guys, is telling us clearly that where do I see the translation? Let me see. Okay, in the Arabic, they took away, there's no explanation of this, but I'll show it to you guys anyway. It might not be true, but again, I'm not the one giving it to you. So it says, there is no one whom Allah will admit into paradise, but Allah will marry him to 72 wives, 2 from the Houris and 70 from the inheritance of the people of hell, all of whom will have desirable front passages. And he will have a male member that never becomes flaccid, i.e. soft and limp. So this is Daif. Now it's Daif, but basically this Daif one is telling you that the woman's front passage will be desirable and a man will be eternally erect, never soft, never limp. Imagine.
It sounds like the true religion, man. This is something that God would be thinking about. You know what I mean? It makes perfect sense.
Yes, come to Islam where the man never dies.
He's like, mic drop. Come to Islam, you get Viagra.
I mean, bro, you know?
Now imagine the woman. He must have like a ton of KY jellies just like floating about, like, you know, like the rivers of wine. This dude must have rivers of KY.
My goodness.
I don't know what KY is for those in the chats. I just heard about it. Never seen it. Anyway, listen, man. If there's any Muslims that want to come up, you can. Blake Snake. Oh, that's not Blake. If not, I think we've not done another good day trying to find Muslims that to engage. Travis's art, remember, guys, will go on sale soon. I think that's the only thing that's selling. The Quran has stopped selling. Travis's art is selling. All you have to do is on your bids.
That's priceless. I honestly think we should get those glasses on sale as well.
Oh, I was getting ready to plug the Muslim wife beating verses. So let's just go ahead and do a commercial for TikTok, right? So Muslim men, this is for you because we care about you. We care about your well-being. We want to make your life easy. So after a hard day of how to prove Jesus was a Muslim on the internet, right? After a hard day of this, showing that Jesus fell with his face on the ground, he's a Muslim. After a hard day of convincing people to read the Bible like this, blocking out all context, you look outside and you see your child bride swinging with another dude, right? You see her out there swinging, being pushed by another dude because her little legs are so tiny she can't get off the ground. She needs an underdog to get started. You catch her. What you do is you call her inside And I got something for you to make your life easy. No more swinging the moose whack, right? We got the wife Moose Whacker 2000 on sale today. It's going to be in the TikTok shop. And in case you forget which pagan god you're hollering on when you're beating your wife, Allah Akbar, it's on the back. The wife Moose Whacker 2000 gets 60 beats a minute with a fresh charging. 60 beats a minute. And to make sure you don't hurt her, you hit her with a feather. Or you can throw leaves at her. It's optional.
Hey, yo, Travis.
Wait, hold on. 60 beats a minute on sale today. And when you get done flogging her to where the point of her skin turns green, poor Aisha, she was kicked in the chest, you can hand this to her and put her little butt to work. She can go to work. Just hand her the moose whack you just beat her with.
Let's just see. We've got a Muslim that came up, right?
I'm not a Muslim. Thank God for that. I just wanted to, I have nothing to say. I just want to say, Travis, dude, you're genuinely the funniest motherfucker in these apologetic polemic spaces, bro.
Oh,
you are like, you actually kill me. Remember when you did the lizard,
Oh no, it dropped you because you cussed. Oh, sorry, man. The mod got you, bro.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, please, if you're gonna come up, there's no swearing and stuff, and mind the language. I don't want to get my live banned. Travis, yes, he's the funniest dude about. That's why I hire him, or he's hired me, and we do this together. But again, without you need some type of humor, or else you will lose your mind. Especially when it comes to having discussions about Islam. I mean, guys, you can imagine how depressed you'd be if you had to just look at the treatment of women in Islam. Imagine how sad it'll make you.
Exactly, bro.
That's why we've got to add some element of humor into this, because, man, come on.
This is exactly, bro. I would be honest. This is exactly how I'll cope with like 15 years of reading how to, destroy these little girls' lives and stuff like that, man. So I use humor and, stuff like this as a way to just not become so entangled in this, disease. So I care. I want to say really quick though, I care about the Muslims, and I really do have a heart for you guys. This is it's an atrocity that Muhammad led you guys towards Satan, and you fell for his deception. I care for you, I really do, but I just use humor as a way to just vent.
Yeah, it's just a cope mechanism. Juke, how are you doing?
I'm good. I that was my other account. I won't swear. Apologies.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no worries. But I do just want to give you a shout out. I try to be funny with my lives too. I obviously do. Apologetics, and most of what I do is talking about Islam. And of course, like after a while, it's low frequency, and it honestly puts you just in a bad place, man. So
it really does, man. And it weighs on you. And this is why, like Sam, man, I've been sitting under Sam since Pal Talk, man. And I think it wore on him for a while too, because it's really hard to deal with these people. We get told women need to be mutilated down there, female FGMing little girls, because it's warm in Africa and it gets women excited. Think about this, bro. This is crap we listen to.
Albie, did you hear that? On my live today, a guy came up and he said that the female circumcision is a result of the heat in Africa, because everybody knows that when it's hot, women get excited down there. So the only way to contain them is to clip it. Then I told the dude, I'm an African, born in Africa. That's BS. Absolute rubbish. He said, no, that's because in Africa, it's not an Islamic thing. It's a cultural thing. And in Africa, it's hot. So that's why they started clipping them. So Aisha at 6 her bean must have been jumping, because they had to clip her, because according to the hadith, she was also circumcised. So they took they took the guy out the boat. Let's see, we've got a Muslim. Hopefully.
What's up?
How are you, my brother?
I left Islam, alhamdulillah. How are you, my friend? Assalamu alaikum.
Awesome.
I left Islam. But can we still be Akhis, my friends?
Say again.
Can we still be Akhis despite the fact that I left Islam?
I'm not a Muslim, bro.
We're not Muslims.
Okay, but we can still be Akhis then, even though I left Islam as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Bro. Alhamdulillah.
Very nice.
So Islam, so Muhammad is a false prophet?
He is. There's no
Beautiful.
doubt about it.
What do you think
You
about
should read the
Jesus?
Hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari 5133. Muhammad fiddled with Aisha when she was 9 years old. It's in black and white. There's no something out of the context.
Lovely. But anyway, guys, listen, I appreciate that you guys came up. I am really looking for Muslims to come up. In 10 minutes, guys, if there's no more Muslims, I think we're gonna have to just take a time out, because this is just becoming us in an echo chamber. So Muslims,
Yeah, agreed.
James, would you mind 1 second if I ask Adela a question?
Sure, bro.
Adela, just out of curiosity, right? When did you leave Islam, and what was the main reason? What broke the camel's back? What was the straw that broke the camel's back where you're like, enough is enough?
You're asking me or you're asking whom? Sorry.
I'm asking you, friend.
Oh, I'm really sorry. My apologies. So what was the question again? What made me leave
No,
Islam?
that's okay. That's okay. When did you leave Islam? And then what was the straw that broke the camel's back that you were like, enough is enough. I got to get out of this. This can't be the religion of God.
Sure. I was starting to doubt about Islam when I was like my first year. No, it was 2013. Yes, I remember. Oh, no, sorry, 2014. Let's say 2014. I came to Germany on 2012. And then years later, seeing the civilization here in Germany, I was like, why don't we have the same civilization in my country? And then I say, oh, it's because of the Islam. So when I went deep inside of this, like I went in deep, really deep, like about this information. Like I tried to inform myself. Excuse me for my English. So I just realized, like, when the Mujahideen, like the terrorists, you know, when the Mujahideen came to my country, they had the book, we had our land, we had our country. And then once you opened our eyes, they had our country, we had the book. It was an unfair exchange. Like, this is the question. Like, I just realized we sold our country for the Deen of Islam. So this is the reason behind why our country is corrupted. Also, there was this imam in a mosque in Afghanistan. I remember he said, infidels, right? Those who don't believe in Islam, the killing of infidels is the adjective of being a Muslim. And then that got me really triggered. I was like, why should I take somebody's life just to prove I'm a Muslim?
Yeah, it's wild, bro. Sharia teaches that you can just merely attack people and go out and violate them because they believe in something different.
Indeed.
Yep.
You should read the Quran, Surah 9, verse 29. It says you have to fight the non-believers. And then violence is a nice transition to make sure nobody leaves Islam. It's written inside.
It's a God that would rather have people forced into his religion
Yeah,
than
it's a compulsion.
freely choose to love him.
Yeah, because you should bear in mind I don't see any penalty for apostasy in Christianity. I never heard of the penalty. What's the penalty you should face?
You don't. You freely come and freely
Yeah,
go. It's a
maybe
demonstration of
you
love.
lose your title in Germany. There's something like Standesamt, like you register which religion you're believing. So that's all the thing. That's the least what happens. Like you lose that title of being, for example, Muslim or Christian. But in Islam, in an Islamic country, you're going to be stoned to death if you do that. That's the penalty of apostasy.
Or you'll walk around like the headless horseman.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Let's
Exactly.
be fair. Let's be fair with Sharia. The women, in most instances, are to remain jailed until they become Muslim again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
the men lose their head.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
I find it crazy when Muslim women will come on and be more vehemently Muslim than the men sometimes. And
Yeah.
you have no idea, do you?
Yeah, that's what do you call it? Your friend. It's like like a sheep trying to be friend with a wolf. It's like that. If you compare it, it makes no sense. Because Islam harms women, women's rights, women have no values, women are less worth than a piece of shit in Afghanistan. That's what I learned from Islam.
Hey, just be careful with the cussing because he's streaming on YouTube too, and we represent Jesus.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
what do you think? What do you think about Jesus, friend? So one thing I've noticed in Islam is the devil was good at covering his bases, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, like making sure that you don't believe that God could take on flesh, come pay a punishment for us. Jesus wasn't crucified. So it seems like even after people leave Islam, the devil has kind of covered his bases and completely annihilated Christian theology. So what do you think about Jesus?
Well, I'm literally neutral to other religions. I'm okay with Jesus. But what I learned from what I see Jesus is like love of God. That's what mentions Jesus. In Quran, there's nothing something like love of God. It's never mentioned love of God. But in Bible, so far I know there are several verses that they mention the love of God, that God loves you, God sacrificed for you. That's all I know.
Right. So there was a really cool teaching where Jesus, you remember when Jesus was going to get arrested and taken to the cross, and Peter picks up a sword and he's getting ready to cut off the ear of the Roman, he cuts off the ear of the Roman guard Malchus, right? Peter takes a sword and literally cuts the man's ear off. Now, I think everything Jesus does, he's teaching something, even with his words and with his actions, right?
Yeah.
So Jesus is saying so many things here, and he heals the man's ear, and in a way to show that if you use the sword to teach the truthfulness of who Jesus is, you're cutting off the ear of the listener. Something else happens here. There's also a death penalty for attacking a Roman guard. So Jesus erases all signs of the crime committed. Same thing he does on that he's getting ready to go do on the cross for you.
That's justice.
He goes and he sheds his blood on the cross of Calvary, right? Removing all signs of sin and the crime committed against God. So Jesus does a couple of things just in his actions and his words. It's so deep, bro.
Yeah, I
Wow.
truly believe you. But I think I'd rather be like, there's a word called agnostic. I don't know if it's in English as well. Agnostic is like something who doesn't believe in any, like,
So
who's not sure,
idolatry.
who's not sure of God, if God exists or not. Who's not
Idolatry.
sure.
I'll tell you this. I know the religious trauma of leaving Islam, it can take a lifetime. The fact that you're open and okay with other religions shows that, like, you're at least, that's good on you. So, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks. I appreciate
that's
it.
cool. Yeah, like religious trauma from leaving Islam is crazy. Can I ask you a question, Travis or James, which is the Christians in the room? Because I talk about this a lot on my rooms, and this comes up even though obviously I'm not Christian, but obviously I talk about how absurd Jesus in Islam is and how failed, like literally the most failed prophet ever in Islam. It has to be Jesus, right? Comes, does nothing,
Yeah.
comes, does nothing.
Yeah, indeed.
But the version of Jesus that comes back in Islam is obviously a very angry Jesus. I mean, it doesn't really match who the guy is. And sometimes Muslims, they will point to Revelations and they'll say, well, the Jesus in Revelation seems to be a little bit angry as well. How would you counter that if that was
That was just, I believed that back then, but then I was like, that was just some nonsense, because it's just, the Quran is just, copied from Torah, Bible. They are just copied. Muhammad had the main character syndrome. That's why he gave himself the title of prophet. That's what I just believe.
Well, we believe that Jesus does come back as a reigning, conquering king, and he's going to destroy evil. He's not coming back he's not coming back next time meek and laying down his life again.
right? But so when the Muslim says, oh, like, but Jesus in Christianity is also just as angry, like, well, how would you?
Well, their God also. Oh, go ahead, Albie.
Yeah, no problem. So in this first Advent, right, if we do a study of both the Old Testament and New Testament, we'd see that he came as a conquering king, and this throne was the cross, and he waged war against the principalities, the spiritual realm that had control over man because man has sinned. He waged war on those on these spirit beings. In his second advent, he's going to wage war against the flesh, against men. So that's why we're living in a time of grace, right? In a time period where the gospel should be proclaimed, that there is peace between God and man through the blood of Christ, because the blood of Christ transfers us from the kingdom of Satan to the kingdom of his beloved son, as Colossians 1:13 says, right? So I would say red letter Jesus is one and the same as black letter Jesus of the Old Testament.
I'm not that much informed about the Bible, the New and Old Testament. All I just know is like Jesus is, described as a guy who loved his what do you call followers? Not, I don't know, you call them followers or the ones who are my English is kind of rough.
And even his non-followers, like the
You
young
mean the
rich
disciples
ruler,
of the apostles.
like the young rich ruler, right, who didn't end up following him. Jesus looked at him and loved him.
Yeah, that's actually kind of wholesome. But you don't see something like that in Quran. You don't see something like that in Quran.
In the Quran, you have to love Allah first, and
Yeah.
then He'll love you.
Yeah. No. In the funniest, there's in Hadith, there's written that the Prophet says you have to love him more than anybody else. This is some arrogant behavior.
He stole
So
this from Jesus.
Excuse me.
He stole this from Jesus because Jesus
Well,
is God.
yeah, we could say that. Yeah, that's literally. I told you, he has some main character syndrome. That's why he's just giving those kind of yeah. But then I was like, okay, you know what? He's not the best. I'm the best. Why should I, love somebody more than myself who fiddled with a child? Why should I do that? Why should I take somebody as an idol who took people's life, enslaved women after they killed their husbands, their Jewish husbands? Why should I, take someone like that, a war criminal, as an idol?
So you remember the first commandment?
Excuse me?
You know the first commandment?
The first commandment, like,
Yeah.
what do you mean
in
by
the
that?
Bible. So let me hold on, guys. My dog's working. Really quick, I just wanted to show where Muhammad stole this from. In Matthew chapter 10, Jesus says, and a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Right? Muslims, you guys hate your children because they follow Jesus. Whoever loves a father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Now, Jesus is teaching you.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever loves a father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves a son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Now, Muhammad did steal this. He shows up and says in Bukhari 15, the Prophet said, "None of you will have faith till he loves me more than his father, his children, and all mankind." The Prophet was a thief, not your prophet. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. But I like this picture of women defending Islam. Yeah, it's like chicken defending KFC. Exactly. It's the same gesture. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, but I have to be honest. Look, in Germany, there's something like a party, like in parliament. It's called the AfD. They are really strict against Muslims. Which I can understand. Which I can, yeah. I can understand their issue because they want. In my city, Hamburg, there was few months ago, there was a demonstration that they wanted Khalifa in our country, in our city. So that's why the AfD party is strictly against him.
Have you ever considered following Jesus, friend?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. If that party AfD comes to power, that the Miss Weidel, she becomes chancellor, I might change my religion to Christianity because just to approve them, like just so I could be still be here in Germany, because they're most likely trying to kick out the Muslims from Germany, those who are for Caliphate.
Well,
So
God
I
doesn't
might-
want you forced into His religion, man, and you shouldn't choose to follow Jesus just so you can remain in your country.
Well, if in worst case scenario, maybe I will, but actually, I'm also not against. Just to be honest, I have nothing against Christianity. I mean, this country, I mean, democracy. No, sorry, Christianity is actually the backbone of democracy, in my opinion, because that's how democracy was established, was made, because everybody's opinion matters. Why not? I think this is how.
Let me just say this. I live in Europe as well, my brother, and I can tell you that if you decide to just become a Christian for the wrong reason, there's no need for that, because they're not going to kick the Muslims out. The Muslims that they're going to kick out are those that are misbehaving, those that are going against the government, those that are trying to change the rule of law, and, for example, get the caliphate in Germany and want to push Sharia. What you need to do is think to yourself about your salvation. That's all.
I
Lads,
agree
can I
with
say
that.
something?
I will say one thing. I have to be also honest. I also wear the cross necklace.
Well, that's a start, bro. That's a start. But understanding why the cross is so relevant and what happened on the cross, therein lies the answer, because that's where you find your salvation.
Yeah. See, this is I can see the difference. If I talk with Muslims, if I talk with a group of Muslims, they laugh at me because I tell my reason why I left Islam. They think I'm funny. I was like, yeah, you're making fun out of it because your religion is just bullcrap. It's just a fucking joke. That's why you're making fun out of it.
Adallah, listen. I'm
Yeah.
going to encourage you, Adallah, please, right? And I say this because you're my brother in humanity. Take off
Appreciate
that
it.
cross. No, listen, though, you are, but take off that cross. Don't wear it, because that cross is going to be a judgment on you on the day of judgment. Because if you wear it and don't follow him, then you're
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Until you do, right? I would recommend not to wear it, because it will bear a judgment on you unlike anything you'd ever known or seen.
I know.
Read this in Hebrews chapter 10, 26 to 29. So I beg you, brother, as my brother in humanity,
Sure. I'll
Don't
keep
play
that in
with-
mind.
don't play with the cross.
No,
brother.
no,
Don't
I'm
play.
not. No, I'm actually not. I just play with. I just
wear
wear
it,
it just so I feel a little bit.
If you wear
I
it
feel a little bit comfortable. I have to be honest.
No problem,
That's
brother.
all.
If you wear it physically, make sure you're first wearing it spiritually.
Yeah, indeed. I have to also say I also visited a few times church. They had some like ceremonies. It was actually beautiful, and also friendly
That's a
people.
start, my man. That's a start. Guys, let's just get Gemma to say something, and then because we've got no Muslims, I think it's best that we end it soon. So Gemma, hello, welcome.
Hi, God bless everyone. I just wanted to say to brother Adelat, I was an ex-Muslim myself. Just be careful also with your family and everyone that is around you. My brother attacked me because of my choice that Jesus is God. It's been painful and stressful, but the most beautiful thing that happened in my life is to know Jesus as God. And I do not have my family by my side, but I have Jesus, and Jesus is never going to abandon us. In the Islam, we were forced to do things for God. But in Christianity, we want to do things for God because God gave us everything.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like my mother said to me, like, "Hey, you're not a daughter of me anymore," because I said that Jesus was God. But I really believe that Jesus is God, and I cannot deny it. I cannot walk in the darkness. I want to walk in the light. I want to walk in the light of Christ. And I'm so sad that the Islam made so much things in the world so difficult, because a lot of people wanted to know Christ, but they are so afraid of their family.
Indeed. I want to
Not-
know
I wanna
who's
say
Alex
this, Nick.
talking about. Wait, who is this guy Alex talking about? I think this guy
No,
is a
forget
Muslim.
about that. Forget about
He's
it.
insulting. He's
It's okay.
insulting.
It's okay. Don't worry about that. It's okay. Focus on this, my man. There is something that's holding you back, right? All you need to do is step over whatever is pulling you back and keeping you away from the truth.
I will
right?
try. I
And
will
I'm not, no
definitely
one's
try.
forcing you. All we're saying to you is that at some point you must start thinking about you, your salvation. Where do you want to end up? If you believe that there is a God, right? If you get to the point where you don't know if there is a God or not, but there could be a God. If there is a God, this is why we say it's so important to realize or to ask, well, the two largest religions in the world today is Christianity or Islam. Which one of these two will make sense? Read the scripture, understand, and again, you'll know them by their fruit. Look at the creators of the two religions. When I say creators, you understand what I mean. Look at what Muhammad gave to the world and look what Jesus gave. Ask yourself this question. If I were to live 2,000 years ago, would Jesus offend me the way he behaved? And if Jesus lived 2,000 years later, today with us, would he be offending people by the way he lived today? And then you ask the same question about Muhammad, because Islam apparently doesn't ever change, even though it abrogates itself willy-nilly. So if Islam was perfect for Muhammad back then, or Muhammad was perfect for Islam back then, how would Muhammad fit into society today? The first thing he'd be doing, he'd be on a
He would
child
be in
register
jail.
list.
He would be in
He'd
jail.
be
He would
put
be
in
a
jail.
child offender. He would
They'll
be
give him the
convicted.
injection. Why? Now the question is why?
Because he
It's
was a war
because
criminal.
he has
He was a
never
revolution.
changed. And if
He was
Islam
a
doesn't change, then Muhammad doesn't fit in. So how can he be the best example to mankind if
That's
he
why I
just
say.
doesn't fit in?
That's why I said he's not the best. If it comes
Look,
like
every
that, then
single
I'm
one
the
of
best. I
us,
would say I'm the best.
every single one of us that's up here right now is a better example to mankind than Muhammad was on his best day.
I would agree with that. Because being a nonsense, I think the worst, like the lowest kind of being a human, the lowest level of being a human.
Anyone that
It's just-
touches children, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let me see. I've got a new guest up. I didn't see that. Notice that. I'm not sure what your name is.
I don't think he's a Muslim, but he's a friend that's been up here before.
Well,
So really quick, guys.
how man?
Oh yeah. One more thing I had in my mind, like why I left Islam, is why did the Muhammad didn't adopt Aisha as his daughter instead of just marrying her? This
Because
was
he
also one
managed
of
to
the.
do that with the guy, with the Zayd. He took Zayd as his
What's really bothering me? Like Aisha was the daughter of Abu Bakr Siddiq. He was the first Khalif. One of the biggest Khalif. Abu Bakr Siddiq, Omar bin Khattab, Osman, Ali, Asadullah. Like these four biggest Khalifas. And then Abu Bakr was the closest one. Like he was like a brother to Muhammad because he was loyal to him. And then what did he do as as an exchange? He fiddled with his daughter, which really fucks my head up.
So this is a really good topic because yesterday a woman decided that if this is true, she's not staying in Islam, and I think she pretty much walked right out of it yesterday and said that this is not
This
a
is
teaching
true.
from God.
I have the
Very
Sahih
good
Bukhari,
topic.
Sahih Bukhari, 5133, and Hadith. This is where it's narrated that Muhammad fiddled with Aisha when she was 9.
Anyway, guys, Travis, we've got no people coming up. We've got so many people pretending and in the chats that they know stuff, but they don't.
Yeah. Just some bootleg Muslims, you could say.
I think tomorrow we change the topic to maybe engage. I think we do free will tomorrow, since Oz brought it up. We can ask the question: Is there free will in Islam?
No, it isn't. There isn't. I, as
Yeah, no,
Muslim in an Islamic, ex-Muslim in an Islamic country, I know what a free will is since I
Yeah.
came in Germany.
So I think that will be the topic tomorrow. We'll do this for free will, and hopefully, Muslims will come up. because in the end, at the end of everything, we normally end up with the question with the red flag, and that's the only one that Muslims seem to really get engaged about, that they want to tell us about how to beat their wives.
Yeah.
Thanks. I mean, they want to tell us about beating wives, about sleeping with children, and that you can have slaves, but pork
Yeah,
is
you
not
can.
one.
Hey, also, why did Muhammad ban music, ban petting dogs, but not slavery? Why didn't he just ban slavery? Why didn't he do that?
Exactly.
James, you gotta let me take over your live one day, dude, and do plagiarism in the Quran.
Tell me when, dude.
Huh?
Tell me
Oh,
when.
yeah. I think it's a really good topic when the Muslims find out that Solomon's flying carpet came from a Jewish bedtime story. You know, so they got to know this stuff, man. That Solomon doesn't have a carpet 66 miles wide that he put all his equipment on.
Well, why don't we do this? Because tomorrow I said we can do the what's this called, the free will. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's what day is tomorrow? I don't know. Man, these days just fly. Tomorrow is the Friday. No.
Yeah. Tomorrow's
Tomorrow's
Thursday.
Thursday. So why don't we say this on Friday? We can do this, Travis.
Sure,
So
we also.
it'll give us a chance to get a thumbnail sorted out, and then we can focus on plagiarism. I've got a good one about plagiarism. So yeah,
James, I'm gonna tell you really quick, bro. I'm not here Thursday and Friday, man. I got a side job to do, but maybe sometime next week.
Perfect.
God willing, because the Muslims stole that from us too. Lord willing.
Exactly. Chris, God bless you, brother.
Hey,
God
God
bless you.
my mama see, brothers.
Hey, bro. God bless, bro.
Bless up.
Take care. I was about to end, but now I can't because my man Chris is back.
Well, you can. I just come up. I was just I have a break at work, so I just wanted to come up and say salam alaikum to my brothers. That's all.
Well, I tell you what, as usual, you know, around this time, Chris, I've got to do something. You guys have Allah powers. The topic is there. Let me get back to the topic. The topic is again a simple one as always, and it is the treatment of women in Islam. So, guys, I'm going to just mute myself for like 5 minutes. Travis, Chris, you guys got this. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So we'll just do a little recap.
Hang on. Before you
Okay.
do that, Chris, did you know the reason why women were circumcised in Islam?
No.
We were told today. So yesterday we were told that there's wisdom in sleeping with a 9-year-old. Today we were told that the reason for the female circumcision is because it was hot in Africa. And everybody knows that in Africa, when it's hot, the woman gets excited. And he says, everyone knows this. In Africa, not knowing that I'm an African, he tells me that these women get excited. So in order to curb them, to slow them down, they got to snip and clip or clip and snip just to keep them, settled. Now remember, Aisha was married at 6. She was snipped and clipped, meaning that she was already having her bean jumping up and down like a jumping bean or a happy bean. So they had to clip and snip it to calm the 6-year-old down so that she can be penetrated at 9 by Muhammad. Make it make sense, Chris.
That's insane. Like, you gotta be some type of stupid to say something like that.
When I told him I'm African, I said that's rubbish because I'm from Africa.
I told that to my fiance, and she said someone should cut his balls off. Honestly, dude, I'm just gonna put it out there. So this is just a really quick recap. This is what we got from the Muslims that's come to the stage so far. What Islam brought to women. They brought how to dress. We know how that went down. God bless you, Brother Albie. This is another thing that we got. How to act. They were taught how to act in public. Right? Proper playground etiquette. And they were given an inheritance. This is the only 3 things that we were told that Islam brought to women so far. Money, how to act on the playground so you don't get tossed off the playground, and how to dress like the ghost on Pac-Man. This is the best defense we got.
You would think Muslimas would be lining up around the door to come up and explain how wonderful Islam is for them. But usually, my experience, when you talk to a Muslima, she sounds upset or she sounds hurt. She doesn't sound happy. Definitely not. But when you talk to a Christian sister, they sound happy. There's a difference in the mind of a Muslima and the mind of a Christian woman. In the mind of a Muslima, they're scared. In the mind of a Christian woman, they're free in Christ.
Amen. So we had to go into like a teaching session because no Muslims would come up and tell us how beautiful Islam is to women. So we just had to start going through verses like the wife beating verses in the Quran, how to beat your wife. Islam brought us that. How to take war captives and enjoy them sexually while their husbands are tied up next door. Islam brought us how to marry children. And then we went through some of the law books. It teaches you how to groom them, how to get them right. We went over female circumcision. So because no Muslims can come up here and teach us about Islam and women, we had to do it ourselves. And we had a Muslim come up and manifest 10 seconds in and said, how old was Rebecca? I've been recording your responses. How to dress, how to act, and how to get money. That's what Islam brought women. Because you need to know how to act when you go outside.
Did you bring out your Rebecca picture when they brought it up?
Oh, dude, that's funny. Yeah, so someone else made that. Let me pull it up real quick.
Because it's a common tactic for Muslims to come and be like, Rebecca was 3. How could you condemn?
Oops, sorry, bro. That's a woman that read half the Quran. Hold on.
But a Muslim will be like, how can you trust Isaac when he married a 3-year-old and condemn Muhammad? It's hilarious. Travis has got one of the best pictures, though, for it. I could see that text, Banku.
Yeah, so someone else made this 3-year-old Rebecca, but if you can see the full picture, like the size of the camels and stuff, it really puts it in perspective. Because these are the kind of water pots you'd be using to draw water for these camels at the age of 3. But she was also mounting and dismounting camels in the story. She's having full-grown conversation. But this is just a feeble attempt. Jamal made, I think, was his name? Yeah, Jamal. He made this. All credit, props to him. But I think this is just a desperate attempt for the Muslims to try to justify Muhammad's actions. This is the first thing they do when we say Muhammad slept with a kid. They say other people slept with kids, and somehow that justifies Muhammad. And then they come up here and say, what about the pedos in your churches? Well, we would call them pedos if they engage in that action, and we would condemn them. It's not going to justify your prophet. There's no justifying this. You don't go into court after robbing someone and say someone else robbed somebody else too. The judge doesn't care. He's going to put you in jail and your weird friend. Muhammad would be on How to Catch a Predator today, except every single episode of How to Catch a Predator doesn't involve 6-year-olds. Yeah. It's always girls in their 11 or 12 or 13 years old, 14. Not one person touched a 6-year-old.
And I'd agree, right? Because in the it's sad. It's sad to see that Muslims want to prove that Muhammad was such a righteous man, right? And then they bring up, like you said, the pedos in the church. If there is pastors or whatever doing this, I pray that they receive the judgment of God.
But
That's
think
what I
about
pray.
this. Yeah, amen. And think about this. Why would you call that person a pedo but not your prophet? Make it make sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. You condemn this person but not your prophet. You call a 6-year-old mom.
Yeah, MJ, I think the Dawa show was pretty fun last night. We have 150 people in here. I didn't record it because I was half asleep and I was going to bed anyway. But I did catch a little bit of it. But if anybody recorded it, if you want, send a message to my private message. I'll send you my email. Send me the video so I can see the whole video. I want to see it.
Oh yeah, that's another good one that someone put in the comments. But Allah sanctioned marriage, Aisha's marriage. Yeah, Allah thought it was so important to show Muhammad a vision of Aisha swaddled in clothes nursing, and that he needed to marry Aisha. Like, this is something a weirdo would say too, right? Like Joseph Smith. God wanted me to have more wives than everyone else. Trust me, bro. But it's the person that's delivering himself all these gratifying verses is the one flopping around on the ground making the claim. Kind of convenient, right? So my 4-year-old daughter used to do that, right? She used to, like, when I would go into the rooms and I'd see that her room was a mess and there was dolls everywhere, right? Don't get excited, Muslims. She's not up for marriage. I would go in there and be like, you need to get this room cleaned up. It's filthy. And she would say, my brother's rooms are dirty too. Well, this is what the Muslims do, right? They try to justify Muhammad by pointing to someone else doing the same thing, right? I would be like, great, that's nice. I'm getting ready to go take care of them, but clean your freaking room, right? This is how children act. This is the Muslims' justification for Muhammad touching a kid, is that everyone else in cell block C was touching kids too. Imagine that argument in a courtroom. So the dude in the bottom left-hand corner, what's your name, man? I know you've been on our panel for a couple times.
Is there a guy up here?
Yeah, I see somebody like with a little cartoon character in the bottom left. I don't know.
Is that the Hal Poly man?
Right. You think Muslims would be rushing up here to defend their God on this topic, at least? Because this is one of the way Muslims trick women into Islam. You know, you get your rights. You get the right to sit inside that burqa and shut up. You get the right to sit on the hot sand while we go out and play with our shirts off in the beach. What rights did Islam give anyone? Muhammad said no country or no nation ruled by a woman will ever never succeed. Muhammad called women stupid, took their rights away. And I'm going to actually show some pictures of the Middle East of what women used to look like before the Islamic Revolution spread like cancer. So I'll show you guys what Islam brought. The people in Iran, this wasn't your culture. This religion was forced on your people. Your women were forced in the burqa. You were nice people well before Islam. So I'm going to put some pictures up in just a second of women in the Middle East before Islam. You couldn't tell them apart from American women. They were working, holding jobs, prominent figures in society. They were allowed to go to school, allowed to teach, allowed to learn. So here's just a little clip. Look at this, guys. This is what happened to your cultures. You were allowed to be people. Now look what you get. You get your identity taken. You get jailed inside the burqa. No one can see you. Yeah, but once the Islamic Revolution happened and the Muslim Brotherhood spread their filth, Islam was practiced before this, but it wasn't really the cancer it is today.
Why are white men PDFs and like seeing little girls in
Wait, hold on. What is a
Come
PDF?
up here to try to say that? Or?
Wait, yeah, you came up here to be so profound. What is a PDF? Define it.
Yeah, your God was a PDF. Like,
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold
yeah,
on.
let's go read
Define
Numbers 31,
here.
40.
Define PDF. I'll go over Numbers
I'm
31 in
defining
just
it.
a second.
I'm defining it.
All right.
So your God.
So here, let's turn your camera off. Come up here like a human being. Have a conversation. We'll smoke you on Numbers 31, and then we'll flip your God over and finish frying him on chapter 65, verse 4. We're not scared of Numbers 31, friend. But if you're going to come up here, act like you got some sense. Don't come in here like a barbarous animal trying to whack lizards like your God taught you to. You're not going to get heaven points up here. You're not going to get Muta coupons. You're not going to get tickets to the little servant boys or anything like that. So if you come up here, act like you got some decency. We can go over Numbers 31, but first we're going to have a conversation. And let's remind these Muslims that your God says he's the author of the Torah, which you're in when you go to Numbers 31. Yep, I'll extend to you an olive branch.
16
and I will
wait, hold on. Girls.
Yep. Hold on just a second, if you don't mind, really quick. We'll explain Numbers chapter 31, and then we're going to apply the same standard to your God when it comes to PDF and little kids. So before we move forward, define a PDF.
Why
for
are you
us.
ashamed of?
No, here, hold
turning
on,
off
just
my
a
camera?
second, just a
Yeah,
second,
you're
really quick.
ashamed of your Bible. Thanks for turning off my
No,
camera.
we're going to go to
Thanks for
Numbers
turning off my
31
camera.
before we go to chapter 65, verse 4 of your Quran. I promise you. I'll explain it to you, and then we'll go right
There's
to your
nothing
Quran.
to explain. Your
First,
God's a
tell
PDF.
everyone.
That's
First,
all it is. Yeah,
all right,
PDF
so
is
this
the
means
Bible,
being
God.
sexually attracted to children, right? Do you agree with that? Okay.
I had to drop him, Travis. He wouldn't shut up. Apparently, he listens as good as his prophet reads.
So I guess we can just go over Numbers chapter 31 while he's in the audience or whatever. So we'll just do it anyways. So anyone that's read Numbers chapter 31 and has read the actual Bible before they come up here and try to attack it, it's a continuation of Numbers chapter 25. In Numbers chapter 25, the Midianite women seduce over 20,000 Israelite men through a sex cult to follow their pagan false gods that come complete with child sacrifice and roasting your kids on the hot arms of Molech. So this would be the death penalty, as it should be. So the girls that are kept alive in Numbers chapter 31 are innocent of the crime of sex committed back in Numbers chapter 25. They're not kept alive for sex or to make your slave captives, like Islam teaches, or to do child marriage with. They're simply saved alive because they're not guilty of the crime back in Numbers chapter 25. So now that we answered that, there's nothing in the verse about marriage. There's nothing in the verse about sleeping with them like there is in the Quran in chapter 65, verse 4. So now that we explained that, we'll bring you back up and we'll see if your prophet and your God meets the criterion of what it means to be this. Oh, and remember, the Quran says in chapter 3, verse 3 through 4 of the Quran, that the God of the Quran authored the Torah. So when you come up here and attack this, you should have known that your God put his name all over that book. Just shows how dumb you are. So I'm going to bring you back up, hit the invite, and we're going to apply the same criterion to what this means to your God.
You're cracking me up.
Oh, man. Like, we're not scared of the Bible. The Bible thoroughly condemns your prophet.
Never mind, Travis. I think we'll call it a day, bro.
Okay, man. Yeah, I think we're this topic, man. It just goes to show, bro. How many topics in this last week have you had on the screen? The only one we can get a Muslim on the panel is child marriage.
Yeah, that seems to be the biggest, man. The red flag one. This one, this is where the Muslims want to go. This one will get them like you can't believe. I'm going to have to try to make that a little larger. Anyway, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank yous. Thank you, guys. You saw a topic today that was treatment of women in Islam. Notice that, again, Muslims can't defend this. They can't make it work. They'll still tell you how great and fantastic Islam is, while at the same time telling you that we can't defend this nonsense. So again, for all those gifters, all those that have, shown love and shared and liked and all that, and even those that are just sitting in the chats learning, God bless you guys. Remember, we don't do this because we hate Islam or hate Muslims. We love the Muslims. We do this because we want to share the salvation that Muslims deserve. They deserve the salvation that we are so spoiled to have. And that comes through Christ. So all I'm saying to you guys is, please, we didn't say anything without proving it. Everything we said came from Muslim sources, and we presented it to you guys. All we want you guys to do now is ask yourself, is this something that I want to follow? Is this something that is going to benefit my life, benefit my family? Tomorrow, as I said, we'll do a free will. We'll talk about, is there free will in Islam? And we'll see, and we'll just go from there. But again, Travis, God bless you. To all the others that came up, God bless you.
God bless you, bro. Thanks for the gifts, everyone. Awesome topic today, man. We had a lady leave Islam because of this topic yesterday.
Amen.
She
without
cannot follow a God that does this to little girls.
That's right. We showed her what it said, and she took the last choice. She was like, can't be listening to this nonsense. Can't follow this nonsense. Again, we used only the Quran and the Hadiths. Tafsirs. The Tafsirs destroyed her. She said, show them the tafsir. Every time a Muslim came up, she said, show them the tafsir. Because she said, basically the tafsir seals the deal. Once again, guys, as always, God bless you. Remember, put yourselves second. Always put Christ first. Open your Bibles. Humble yourselves. Remove the hate, the ego, the pride. And that's the only way that you'll be able to see who Christ truly is. Put him first. Open your Bibles. Let your children see that you are an example to them by opening up your Bibles and showing them that when in doubt, when in need, go to Christ. Don't sit and look at, whatever else and go to everyone else, all these shamas and people that are going to do all this voodoo stuff. That's not going to help you. Come to Christ. Open your Bibles. Come back to Christ. Read the Bible. For those of you that don't have a Bible, all you have to do is go to a Google store or something, download a Bible, they're free. Open it. The easiest way to read it is through the ESV, English Standard Version, because it's simple English. It's just easier for a new beginner to read because it doesn't use thee and thou, and sometimes it can be confusing. But guys, download the Bible. Buy children Bible for your children's Bibles for your children. Let them see that the stories in there have meaning. Understand it. Tell your children about, for example, the prodigal son that we've loved so much. Open up the Bible and read Psalm 23 and let them know that they are never alone, that the Lord is our shepherd, that he will leave the 99 to come and find that one that went astray will never be left alone, because Christ is saying, I will leave the 99 and come and find that one. And if you are that one, remember that Christ has never left you. He's standing there with his arms wide open saying, come back. Come back to me. He never left us. He never sent us astray. He's never guided us into the wrong path. like Allah does. He doesn't put devils on us to make us commit sin like Allah does. He doesn't make us sleep with little girls like Allah does. He's not called the best of deceivers like Allah is. Just focus on the truth, guys, and I promise you, you'll find Jesus. That's as simple as it's going to get.
James, let's leave them with an escape plan. If you're sitting in the audience today listening to what Islam teaches to do and how to violate little girls, and you don't want to follow this cult anymore, Romans 10:9 says, if you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. There's a better path. Go pick up the scriptures of the previous prophets that show God's love for you and demonstrates God's love for you. There's a better example to follow. You don't have to defend this disgusting cult anymore. You can follow Jesus Christ, the best example for all humans. Though we can't be him, he is someone we can model our lives after. We cannot follow Muhammad. You'll end up buried under the jail. There is a better way. Come to Jesus, guys. But God bless you all. Thanks for the gifts.
God bless, guys. And again, as always, I thank you. God bless you, Travis.